各位亲爱的观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎回来！这里是由斗鱼 TV 冠名星际老男孩主办 ，SC 奋为您带来全程直播的 WTL 世界星际战队联赛季后赛的比赛直播现场。我是今天的主持人赵拓。那么感谢我们的首席赞助商鹰角网络，以及官方赞助态度 Real 强爽对于我们本次赛事的大力支持。那么经过了昨天2场的比赛，让我们先来看一下晋级图的情况。在昨天的比赛当中 ，SSLT 战胜了 PH 战队，但是在接下来的比赛中不敌 ABS 战队。那今天的比赛将由 ABS 率先迎战 Liquid， 而他们的胜者将在第2场比赛当中对战 DKZ 战队。本次星际战队联赛季后赛全程采用冒泡赛的赛制，2支队伍最多可以派出5名选手进行 BO2 的双复活赛制。那么各支战队会根据常规赛中的积分排名来决定我们冒泡赛的轮次。好，那我们接下来的话就要对我们的下一支队伍 Liquid 战队进行一个采访。等一下来接受到我们采访的是 Elazer 选手，我们也是稍事等待一下，一会儿就来接受他的采访。好，那么我们首先欢迎 Liquid 战队的 Elazer 选手，欢迎你来接受我们的采访。那首先想问你们的第一个问题是，从上个赛季的无缘季后赛到这个赛季，你们常规赛的一个积分排行榜排到了第4，这也是你们在 WTL 历届里面最佳的一个成绩。你觉得这个赛季是什么原因让你们队伍有如此大的一个进步呢
？From last season's failing to enter the playoffs to this season's ranking the 4th in the regular matches.This is your best performance ever in WTL. Could you briefly discuss the reasons behind such significant improvement?
大家好. I think our improvements this season have names actually. One of them being SKillous, and then consequently Elazer. I think those two guys were essential to our ascent into the rankings of Team Liquid. I think.We had players before that did really well, but these two guys really showed up, and as well as, of course, our ultimate ace player, Clem. Those three have basically carried the team super hard, and I'm grateful for them.
首先，我们能够晋级 WTL 季后赛，离不开 SKillous 和 Elazer 这2名猛将。他们在我们的季中赛中他们在我们的常规赛中扮演了极其重要的角色，成功的帮助我们战队晋级季后赛。同时，之前的一些老选手也功不可没，但是这2位新成员的出现，大大增强了我们的战力。同时，我们的王牌选手 Clem 也是功不可没。很感激各位选手对我们战队做出的努力，最终导致晋级。谢谢。
确实这个赛季常规赛的表现非常好，然后的话也是学了一句中文来跟我们中国的粉丝朋友们打了个招呼，非常棒。那其实第2个问题的话，刚刚他也是有稍微回答过，说队伍里面其实几位选手这个赛季的表现都很好。那想问一下，他觉得这个赛季表现最好、最突出的一个选手是谁呢？在队伍里面
？And who do you think has been the most outstanding player in your team this season?Well,
that would be Clem. I think his score has been absolutely phenomenal this season, and he's won many ace matches for us, very, very crucial matches. So he's definitely the MVP. He always has been.
照我说的话 ，Clem 绝对是我们本赛季中最强大的选手。他为我们拿下了很多分，无论是可以拿下的分，还是那些就是比较难获得的分，他都帮我们拿下来了，是一个为我们晋级季后赛有很大的助力。所以说，我认为的话，他可能是我们战队中最有价值的最强大的选手。
确实在整个比赛当中立下了汗马功劳。那昨天的话，应该也是看到了你们接下来要面对的对手 ABS 战队的一个表现。你觉得看了昨天 ABS 战队的表现，觉得他们队伍里面的谁对你们会最有威胁呢？
Your next opponent will be Team ABS. Who do you think poses the greatest threat?
I think in ABYDOS they have many good players. Nightmare, DRG. I mean, Nightmare has been improving a lot lately. DRG has always been great, but I think the number one player to watch out for is of course Cure, coming up fresh at Grand Finals. He's definitely the guy to watch out for.
诚然，ABS 战队里面的各位选手都身怀绝技，都有自己很强力的一个实力在。但是在我看来呢，最强大的选手无一例外还是 Q 的。他最近也在石油杯中获得了亚军的一个好成绩，所以我认为他应该是我们最有威胁的一名对手。
好的，那现在其实也感觉 Elazer 对于自己队伍接下来的比赛信心满满啊。最后来对你们的对手放一句狠话吧。
Finally, please deliver a harsh remark to the opponent.
Yeah. Well, first I would like to address, the Chinese community, if that's okay. I just wanted to say, and maybe some words in Chinese from what I remember. 我好久没学习中文，可是我希望你让人为我们加油。And for ABYDOS, I would like to say, you guys done very well so far, but sorry, this is the year of Liquid, so you're going down.
首先呢，我想在此对中文社区来发表我的一些感谢。同时，对于 ABS 战队来说，虽然你们已经走到了这一步，但是很抱歉，今年是 Liquid 之年，你们只能黯然收场了。
哇，非常的有气势，而且中文学的也非常棒，你的中文学的很棒，那也是祝愿你们在今天的比赛里面可以表现出色，加油！谢谢接受我们的采访 ，Thank you。
谢谢。
好的，那么我们第二天的比赛同样是非常的残酷而又激烈，希望每一支队伍、每一个选手都可以展示自己最高的水平，不要留下遗憾。那接下来就要把画面交给我们最专业的解说席。
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to day number 2 of the WTL 2023 Summer Codes Playoffs. I'm, of course, host Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by the one, the only, the fluffy, the AsherBro.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Asher. It's great to be here once again with you. 2 days in a row. Oh, it never happens anymore, Poppy. Never. Oh, what's going on?
My sleep is ruined. It's only going to get worse.
Oh god, but we are ready here for some more StarCraft action. For those wondering, there was a show match. There was a show match beforehand, which we did miss. We were not entirely aware that a show match was going to be starting. But today, actually, Rotterdam did play against Chelsea. I think, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But Roddy did play earlier. He did 2-0, one of the Chinese casters. So very well done to Rotterdam. And that was kind of the warm-up, the preamble here for day 2 for Team ABYDOS versus Team Liquid.
Yeah, that's right. And we have some extremely strong teams that are going to be matching up for the rest of this competition now.
Oh god, we really do. Shout out to Diego Elazer. He just had a bit of an interview and he was praising and kind of relaying a lot of the success of his team on Elazer and SKillous on their current form. And I would tend to agree with that. Team Liquid are a pretty powerful team, but enough about that. We need the predictions from the cat. Oh, where's the food? It's gone.
Oh, he sprinted. Maybe they just like the pink ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he just likes the ball.
Every single time so far, every single time he's gone straight for that third ball over on the left-hand side. And it looks like this time the cat is not alone. Crank also believing in Team Liquid. Everyone else for ABYDOS.
Yeah, okay, so ABYDOS definitely the favorites here, but as much as Team Liquid has been underperforming quite often, I think in an all-kill format, if we get Clem in good form, that's going to be a really dangerous player to try to take down.
100%. You know, Clem is straight up the best Terran player in all of Europe, one of the best Terrans in the world, and he is not alone. As Diego was saying earlier, it does feel like both SKillous and Elazer have really been almost peaking in their own skill level this year. They've been looking so damn good, so damn powerful. So they're definitely players that you can't overlook. As powerful as someone like Cure is, we've seen that he can be brought down by players before, players considered to be maybe of a little bit lesser caliber. You know, he has shown some weakness.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that yesterday. So Cure maybe won't be feeling quite as confident. And I know that as much as he has been having some good TVT matchup against Clem, in some of the other matchups, I could see him falling, especially to someone like Elazer, who's probably had a good chance to study a lot of his player.
100%, 100%. Elazer can definitely be a threat to him. But likewise, Team ABYDOS are comprised of a pretty big team as well. They've got DRG, they've got SOS, they've got Creator, as well as Cure. And here we're having a look at the roster for Team Liquid. Clem, Elazer, Elazer, SKillous. And we can't forget Mana as well. Mana is also a player that they can whip out whenever they need him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So they have some good depth to their roster, but there we go. We do see the two Terrans are going to be the star players from each team, Cure and Clem, some of the best players in the world right there. I do feel like in general, Cure probably a little bit more consistent than Clem, but Clem kind of has that it factor where if he pops off tonight, I could totally see him just all killing.
100%. You know, depending on the form, Clem, he can just peak in and just prowess and just take everyone down before him. As you're saying, maybe a little bit less consistent than Cure, but if there were ever a time to pop off, tonight would be the night.
Yeah, that's right. But here we go. We have a look at Cure. They are going to be once again sending him out first. They did do this yesterday, and I was kind of wondering if they were going to be doing that so they could rest him and have a good amount of time between his games today. But nope, straight back out will go Cure. So they are, you know, just leading with their strongest player every time. It's an interesting strategy, and I don't mind it if Cure's feeling confident.
Especially if he's well rested. So we were actually live earlier today. We were casting the KSL, and on that KSL bracket, there was DRG and Creator, but Cure was absent. So Cure, you know, maybe sleeping in the morning of just skipping KSL entirely and just well rested for WTL, and his opponent is going to be Elazer.
Okay, Elazer going to be coming out, and this is going to be a bit of an interesting clash of styles. Cure has been using the 2 racks opener very heavily, so he will most likely be going into more of like a marine heavy based style, whereas Elazer, he usually plays extremely greedy into heavy lair styles. So I feel like he actually matches up quite well against how Cure's been playing lately.
Yeah, I do think so, but there's also something else to bear in mind, and that is we have been casting a lot of Elazer recently. We casted him a couple of weekends ago over in the Polish LAN, and we saw a lot of his EVT. We saw a lot of his EVT against Elazer. We saw kind of a wide breadth of play from him. Sorry, against Spirit, I should have said. And yeah, we'll see what he brings out here against Cure, because I guess I should say that Spirit and Cure are very different players.
Yeah, I think Spirit gave Elazer a bit of trouble because he plays a very economic kind of camping style. But if Cure is going to continue to play this more aggressive marine tank style, I think that is going to play into Elazer's hands. So I'm wondering if Cure's done his research here. If he does know the way that Elazer plays, I think it would suit him really well to play a more defensive style. But if he does, you know, play into Elazer's hands and go for the same mid-game timing, we really will see fireworks between these players.
We will. I agree. I wonder if Cure has looked into his opponents, or if he is just approaching this like any other match. He's like, all right, I'm going to just blaze through this. I'm going to take down a couple of players and call it a day. Another thing to bear in mind for both these teams is that it is also an endurance test because they have another matchup ahead of them.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess that could also be another reason to send out Cure early. Just get him out of the way, rest him up for the next match.
Yeah, exactly. For some context, the winner of this series will move on to face Dragon Kai Z Gaming, and here he is in the bottom right-hand corner, the ace player for Team ABYDOS, the South Korean Terran. It is Cure.
All right, and here in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing for Team Liquid. Pretty freshly for Team Liquid as well. This is Elazer.
And as we get into this series, a couple of thank yous have to be dished out here. A shout out to Demi in the chat, did give us a raid. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Likewise, a shout out to Asheri for subscribing for 11 months. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's go. Good to see friendly faces in the chat as always.
Definitely.
Yes, we also got a donation.
Lastly, Slow Iran in the chat for the $4.20 420. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the tips. All the money that we make goes towards our tournaments, so thank you. We appreciate it.
Blaze it.
And speaking of blazing it, that's exactly what Kira is doing here, going for the Beyond opener, going for that 2-Rex. As you mentioned, he has been quite fond of this opener recently.
Yeah, it's pretty much all that Kyo's been doing, and it makes sense. I mean, the way that Kyo and Maru in particular have been playing this is a very modular setup that can pretty much act as its own tree of builds. So not really any reason to mix it up with the very first part of the build.
Yeah, exactly. As we are going to be starting off here with 2 Rexes and 3 Reapers. Should be committing to only that, and from there we can kind of transition out of that. And if we were casting Beyond, the likelihood of it being a 4-axe or even a 3-axe Mass Reaper is there. For Cure, I think you were saying that he's become a lot more accustomed to more of a macro-oriented transition out of this.
Yeah, I think we've kind of worked out that going into a 3cc from here is just very safe and solid. The same way that playing a 3cc Banshee was the meta for so long and so solid. This kind of seems like it's taking over, but it is interesting that Kyo does play this so much without playing 3x Reaper as well. Just intuitively, the first few times I was seeing Beyond doing this, it felt like it only made sense because he also plays 3x Reaper. But yeah, no, people have shown that it is just a solid build in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about it yesterday, but Beyond, he did all that hard work so everyone else can profit from it.
Yeah.
And profit they will, as the first Reapers are dipping in towards that natural base, forcing a big reaction, forcing lost mining time out of Elazer. Nothing major, just poking, prodding, keeping Elazer here on 2 bases as he's going for that 2-base response, delaying his 3rd.
Yeah. Elazer actually going to be delaying his 3rd very heavily, just opening completely 2-base. Something that is a little bit unusual. Most of the Korean Zergs have been trying to get a 3rd against this, but looks like Elazer is not too fussed by what's going on so far.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, as the first tumor is going to go down to those grenades. So very nicely done here by Cure. And as you mentioned, Cure, he's not really being hyper aggressive behind this. We have a 3rd CC on the way, so being very economic.
Yeah, that's right. It is a 3cc variation, which does make me worry a little bit for Elazer. I think he is slightly over defending this, and not having that 3rd up anytime soon is really going to stifle his mineral income.
It really will. Finally, the 3rd base is thrown down. Link speed kicks in, so Cure, he respects that. He understands that. He backs off with his Reapers. He won't lose them needlessly. But likewise, Elazer is setting himself a little bit behind just because of how late that hatchery is.
Yeah, I really feel like this is pretty rough for Elazer. I'm not sure if I can say with complete confidence he's far behind, but yeah, looks like he agrees. He's going to go for a double expand, and I really like this, considering what build is coming his way, that it's not a 4-axe, and maybe he was gambling a little bit that it wasn't a 4-axe. I think he should be fine to hold on to this extra base.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? So we were talking about how late that 3rd base is, and Elazer clearly agrees, so he's going to be going for that double expansion to make up for that, to help give him some extra production, creep spread, larva, all that good stuff to, be able to keep up with Cure.
Yeah, maybe this is the way. I know Elazer does have his own ways of approaching things, and this might be something that he's just worked out. He feels a lot more comfortable with against the aggression, and it does, take out the variables of someone making a bunker at your 3rd, which is something Maru's been doing, or going for 3x Reaper but hiding some of the Reapers or anything like that, where if you do try to take your 3rd, it's just disaster. It's interesting and good to see someone doing something a little different.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him kind of explore his options, and I'm excited as well to see how it pans out, and whether or not that sets him too far behind, because Elazer is actually making a lot of lings. He's going to be cutting some workers here at 42 and amassing quite a lot to work with here.
Yeah, actually cutting very early, so despite going for that extra couple bases, he won't be training them up straight away. He's going to be playing this nice and safely, but has he seen the Liberator that is poking around?
Liberator is looking to dive in towards those bases. At the same time, we have a double jump moving out towards the right-hand side. We are now droning, a laser that is, as the Liberator does rock up and is going to get a couple of drone kills.
Yeah, a couple drone kills going down, a lot of mining time being lost as well. See, Elazer is delaying getting that Bane nest by quite a lot, which is something that top Zergs have been doing as well. You can get away with a bit of extra greed here, but is he going to be prepared for the double drop here? That is the real problem. Is he's going for a counterattack, but very poorly timed. There's no SCVs at that base anyway, so he could be losing a lot.
It just... At the drop of a dime, we do see Elazer kind of falling apart here. 3 workers are going to be going down. The main base is under threat. We focus down the spore. It looks like we will not get the hatchery. The Lings, they get there just in time. At the same time, we have Hellions headed towards the third.
Yeah, but the Lings, they dribble in, so they trade very poorly. We have one medevac going down, but fantastic trades there for Cure, and Elazer is falling apart now.
He is, as we do see more workers going down to these Hellions. Elazer is going to be able to stifle these losses, but remember, he barely droned earlier as well, so his worker count is not really where it needs to be.
Yeah, not the most healthy, considering that he needs to make some extra army, so having those Zerglings trickle in like that is really going to be hurting him, because now he has to make extra before he drones again.
Exactly. He does have to make those extra Lings. Does have gases on the way. Cure continuing to just shark around, look for more damage. Gets a couple of these overlords. Bearing in mind as well that I believe Elazer hasn't thrown down his Eva chambers yet, and yet now they're on the way. So those upgrades are going to be heavily delayed.
Yeah, pretty heavily delayed. Looks like, yeah, really good trades there for Kieran. He'll just continue to play this out very patiently, just poking around, trying to see what damage he can get, not overextending or anything like that. But actually, his upgrades were quite heavily delayed. It looks like he might have accidentally forgotten his +1 armor.
Yeah, they're not actually lined up exactly with each other, so a little bit of a civil there from Cure. Nonetheless, he's going to be hitting a timing with at least +1 attack, and hopefully that's going to be good enough here as he is getting ready to move out. Elazer did knock down those rocks earlier, and that is going to create, or is going to allow this base to be a little bit more vulnerable to a counterattack as he is setting up for a Baneling run-by.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive Baneling run-by, and it's going to happen at a very awkward time. He should be able to time that out while this push is happening, but I'm a little worried he doesn't have enough at home to defend. He is morphing in extra Banelings now, and Bane speed has finished up, but 1-1 is still a ways away.
There we go. The Baneling run-by does dive on in. 4 SCVs are going to be going down at the same time. Here comes that push. Baneling speed is complete for this, but we don't have any of those upgrades.
Yeah, no upgrades. There's really not much here. It feels like Elazer is in some serious trouble. He does get another great counterattack on that third, so he's doing all the right things, and he can pick away at these Marines and eventually give up this base as that base in the bottom left does come up.
13 SCVs go down, not too bad whatsoever. Again, because those rocks have fallen, that base is so much more exposed. The Cure is going to be able to get a hatchery, but he's looking for more than just one base as he's sending his reinforcements across the map, looking to take down that triangular third.
Yeah, both of these bases probably going to be going down, so Elazer's going to be in a rough spot. Despite all this nice counter damage that he is getting, he is falling behind now.
Yeah, exactly, as these hatcheries will fall. Thankfully, Elazer is expanding towards the bottom left-hand corner, so he will have a 4th hatchery to work with, and he does thankfully also preserve his drone count. He did pull them back ahead of time. He won't lose any workers needlessly.
Yeah, that's right. Good amount of units coming up. 1-1 isn't too far away. This 2-2 timing is going to be absolutely devastating, though. The tank count just continues to build up here for Cure. Very well prepared as well for the counterattack, just reading the rhythm of Elazer quite well. And at this point, Elazer pretty much is forced into going for a counterattack because he just can't deal with this army right now.
Yeah, exactly. He may even catch the army on siege, but never mind. Cure, he was ready for it. Tank volleys do go up on the army of Elazer. He's still going for another counterattack here towards that third base. The base itself is actually getting quite low.
Yeah, that third is not really mining at all. Elazer's done a really good job of keeping Cure off that, which has made this an interesting game. I was saying both of these players, they do play very heavily for the mid game, and that's exactly what's happened here, and it's made for a pretty spicy back and forth game where both of them are very low eco, especially Cure, only 43 workers.
Oh my god, there was some borrowed Banelings as well. Big connections on the Marine army. This is getting very scrappy, as you were saying. Elazer dropping in bases. He's trying to expand towards the bottom left-hand corner, but that is exactly where Cure is rotating.
Oh, I don't know about this. Okay, the Lings are going to run past a bit of an awkward area. And all the Baneling, it is burrowed underneath, but Elazer doesn't pull the trigger on that one.
Doesn't pull this time as the Lings are being cleaned up as they do manage to, some of them at least manage to escape. Oh God, Kira has to be very careful here. I think he's on notice though. I think he's looking ahead of time here for those scans for those Bard Banes.
100%, but Elazer just bought himself so much time with all of this, using all of these burrows, forcing scans, forcing Kyo to be wondering where everything is at all times. Kyo's had to really slow down when his army is a lot stronger. So Elazer's done a great job with that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like this army from Cure, it's terrifying, but over time, we do see Elazer catching up. Another drop towards the right-hand side is going to deny another base. We do see the Cure is slowly pushing on forward. There are more Bard Banelings waiting for him. Oh, God!
Yeah, nice connections, but this is trouble for Elazer because this tank position is absolutely fantastic, and Elazer can't give up this base. He's going to have to, but he is now down onto 3 bases, several of those mining out. I think Cure might have done it here because Elazer just does not have another hatch to fall back on.
Yeah, exactly. All this time, despite losing all these bases, Elazer, he was always expanding over towards the other side, but this time, Elazer is stuck on those 3 hatcheries, and even here at this 4th base, workers are going down. This is a nasty position for these Marines.
Yeah, really nasty stuff from Cure is going to be denying that base once again. He's being so patient, so methodical with his play as he always is. And Elazer's been doing a fantastic job with these counterattacks, but Cure just doing a fantastic job as well of just reading the game state, recognizing what he needs to do to win here.
Yeah, it almost feels like Elazer, he just keeps forcing Cure all in by just crippling his economy. But the problem is that he's just never been able to engage the army of Cure. Cure's army has just been terrifying from almost the onset of this game.
Yeah, I mean, Cure's just done a good enough job of denying these hatches where he needs to. If he ever let Elazer get a few more of these hatches up, mine for a bit longer, if he wasn't on both sides of the map, these counterattacks would have been extremely effective. But as it is now, Elazer has to take a fight.
He does, but he's going for another run by another counterattack. This time some Marines may be caught out, but here come the reinforcements. The Banes, they're looking for those connections.
Oh, I don't know about this. Losing all of those Banelings means I don't think we can stop this army from taking the base. And yeah, exactly, that base does go down. Elazer desperately trying to rebuild his bases. Big problem that he's going to be having now is just getting that gas up, but he has managed to keep a little bit of a bank to himself. Cure's going to be patient, keep these tanks alive, and those tanks are going to be really important for anchoring any positions when he's attacking.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Cure has lost any of his tanks this entire game. Like, he's been very particular about preserving them. He has to be careful to make sure that he doesn't get caught out. We have more Bard Banelings on top of this rave as well. Up!
Oh, brutal. Elazer just being so good with getting extra little bits of value here and there, and he is really whittling down Cure, and that's a problem. I mean, Cure's economy is in the dumps. He is on 36 workers. He is not going to be able to afford too many Marines at the moment, so any little bit that you can take out is going to matter, but oh, that's a lot of Lings that just got shaved off, and continuing to stop these hatches from coming up on the other side of the map. That's a kill, not a cancel.
Yeah. 300 minerals down the drain of the drop on the left-hand side is going to be cleaned up. Another Baneling run by is not really going to get too much done across the map, and now Cure can focus on his assault. He takes down a couple of Queen's hatcheries. They're going to be going down once again. Elazer mustering up his army, looking for one big fight. Finally looking to engage.
Another beautiful tank position here. There's just too many tanks for Elazer to really engage without taking bad losses, and that's exactly what's going to be happening. He's going to be forced onto these Marines, and there is just way too much here. I think that is it for Elazer. GG is called. It's been a wild game.
It really was. GG, well played. It felt like for the last, for almost the entirety of that game, for maybe the last 10 minutes, it's like Cure, he wanted a fight. He had a terrifying army. He was just knocking down base after base, and Elazer never gave him that fight. Just constant counterattacks, and he was whittling away at the army with the Bard Banelings. If it wasn't for the Bard Banelings, I feel like that game would have been a lot more one-sided. So really nice play out of Elazer to make that as scrappy as it was.
Yeah, definitely. But in the end, I wonder if there was just a few too many counterattacks, because he was, for the most part, keeping that third from mining anyway. And it felt like a few times he went in and there was not really SCVs at the third, and he attacked into army that was at the third anyway. And I feel like maybe it would have been a better idea for him to get an overwhelming amount of Ling Bane to reduce the tank count rather than just picking away at Marines over and over.
Yeah, there was a time there in that game, maybe like halfway through, where he literally had like double the worker count of his opponent. Like, I think Cure went down to like 36 to 40 workers. Like, as you were saying, he barely really had anything to saturate that third base. So you could argue that maybe Elazer was a little bit wasteful. Maybe it would have been wiser to focus on trying to engage the army at some point, maybe set up a surround, maybe try and engulf Cure, because otherwise, like, that was just a problem that he was never able to deal with. And without that, like, where was the win condition, right? It's like if you could never engage with the army of Cure.
Yeah, that's right. And Kyo, for his own part, did a fantastic job with single drops on the other side of the map to that he was pushing, with just keeping hatcheries from coming up. And Elazer didn't really have the army to deal with the single drop and go for the counterattack and deal with the main army. So Kyo just very slightly outplaying him here, but it was enough.
Yeah, it was enough. And whew, despite that, though, pretty intense game, pretty close game nonetheless. Obviously, Cure, he takes the 1-0 lead, but Elazer, especially with a map pick, he can bring it back here. He can definitely take it to Cure.
Yeah, okay, it's going to be altitude. Makes a lot of sense, and this is going to be a map that is going to be a lot harder to play that kind of style on. As here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for ABYDOS. This is a Korean Terran. In the blue, this is Cure. Come on. What is this?
It happened to me before as well. It's okay. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. The red Zerg, Elazer.
Okay. He is blue. He is Terran. He is Korean. He builds Raxes. He builds SCVs. He builds Marines. He builds tanks. He builds medevacs. He gets upgrades. He expands. It's Cure.
By the end of this broadcast, you're gonna be like Yaku. You now understand why Yaku he has the longest intros where he tells you, hey, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, in the bottom left-hand corner.
All the way in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yaku, he's gonna be good at this tomorrow. Oh, good. But yeah, as we get into altitude, as you were saying, a much larger map here. Clearly, this means that Elazer, he wants Cure to back up. He wants to be given some breathing room here. Is it going to be enough, though? Is it enough to deter the aggression of Cure?
Yeah, Elazer wants to get to that comfort zone where he's up at that 90 drones and he is just slamming in wave after wave of Lingbane, counterattacking, just being everywhere on the map and stifling the Terran. But Cure, once again, sticking with his guns, is going to be going for the 2-Rax Reaper opening. It's not going to be a 3-Rax Reaper, which I feel like I have seen from him before on this map, but he is just going to be going for a pretty similar opening to the last game.
Yeah, exactly. The tried and true Beyond opener of the 2 Raxes should only make 3 Reapers and should be transitioning out of that into something more economic. It is typically the mid game where Cure does pop off, and boy, oh boy, did he pop off last game. Hopefully Elazer's able to get away with a little bit more, as this time he is taking a much faster third.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that Reaper was unattended for a little while, but yeah, Elazer going to be mixing things up. Goes for the faster third this time. I do much prefer this approach. I wonder if that last game he just didn't get that drone out in time and that's why he wasn't able to take it, but looks like he is going to be going for the more traditional approach, and Kyo might want to start putting some damage on this as well.
Yeah, I could definitely start chipping away at the hatchery itself, get it low enough for the follow-up push to kind of clean things up. But for now, it looks like he's just dancing with the queens, maybe looking to pick off a creep tumor if at all possible. Remember, he did get that tumor at the start of game number 1 as well, so he's looking for it.
Yeah, Kyo being really patient with his Reapers, doesn't want to overcommit them, isn't really trying to get the kill on the third, where often if you do start hitting that third nice and early, a queen has to come over to defend it, and you might be able to pick that queen off. But Kyo has shown that he likes to pair up the Reapers with his Hellions later on, so that might be his reasoning for not being too aggressive with them.
Yeah, definitely. We saw him like poke in and out, but as you're saying, no big commitment from these Reapers. He does want to preserve them for a later time, as back at home, Cure is going for that 3cc variation before Starport. So again, very economic, just like, or very similar to the previous game.
Yeah, okay, so it's just going to be Marines coming on out. Looks like it's almost exactly the same as what he went for before. So clearly Cure doesn't really see the need to mix things up too much. And yeah, it's not like there's any clear punish for what he's doing.
Yeah, and I mean the advantages here of altitude, it goes both ways, right? It's like I'm sure Cure himself is maybe a little bit relieved because on a map like this he can be as aggressive as he was last game and hopefully preserve his third and not lose as many SCVs to all these run bys, just because it's so much more riskier to be active with your links out of the map, because that means you have a much longer time reacting to any kind of drop play at home.
For sure. This time, though, it is going to be the Mind Drop. This is the Maru Classic. Usually this isn't with an Armory, but I almost wonder if an Armory would be worth it against a Elazer in particular, just because he is very greedy with his spores.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He is one that he hates spores. He doesn't want to make him unless he absolutely has to, and even then, he won't. So, yeah, Curie could try to take advantage of that. Regardless, no Armory this time as the medevac drops are moving out. 4 Widow Mines within that medevac is going to be spotted by this Overlord.
Oh, he goes for the Overlord with the mines. That's very interesting.
Yeah, interesting stuff here, as we do see Elazer making a massive wave of links. Upon seeing the Widow Mines, immediately 3 spores are on the way for detection for some anti-air to make sure that in case there was an Armory, he would have something for it.
Yeah, so quick reactions from Elazer, getting a little bit fortunate as well to see that medevac out in the middle of the map here, and he will be very well set up to defend this. Behind this, getting that Baneling nest at a pretty healthy time as well. That Cure is going to send it anyway.
Oh, exactly, and one mine shot is not gonna go off. Oh my god. Very quick reactions here out of Elazer, shutting it all down.
What a race.
Oh my god.
Absolute Terran moment. And Elazer looking pretty good here. The third only just getting landed for Cure. Cure is going to go after this Overlord. He's got a bit of a personal vendetta with that bad boy. He tried to get him with the mines before and he lived, so you know, once Cure has had a go at you once, your days are numbered. You're a marked man. Oh, woman.
There you go, marked person indeed. Elazer having a really strong start this time. We got a macro hatch on the way. Burrow once again, you love to see it. I'm looking forward to those borrowed Banelings for a second time as we're working towards our Evo chambers. Elazer, he's kind of gotten what he wanted out of altitude. Maybe I spoke too soon, as a couple of these Overlords are going to be hunted down.
Yeah, Overlord's wandering out into the middle of the map. Cure's going to be happy to take those, but behind this we do see that double Evo, and Elazer is going very heavily into the Ling Bane, so delaying his upgrades once again, but he will have Burrow, he will have Burrow for the Baneling, so he can start to go into some of that play that he does like to go for with baiting opponents over Burrow mines and such, which I think on this map, maybe not quite as strong. There's a few more paths that the Terran can go through, and they're more likely to be dropping, but we'll see if he can make it work.
Definitely, you know, the map is more wide open. As you were saying, the likelihood of the Marines being over those Baneleys is a little bit less, just because of how much space there is to work with. But I want to believe that Elazer can pull something crazy off as the drop play is still continuing, you know, hunting down Overlords, shaving off some of these things wherever he can, keeping Elazer busy while Cure throws down the 4.
Yeah, Cure being very patient here with that double drop, not trying to force damage or anything here, so looks like he is pretty willing to go into a bit of a later game here, throwing down that third base as well, but Elazer with a massive flood of Lings going to be jumping on top of that, denying that fourth from getting built.
Wow, the perfect time. The drop just moved out, by the way, which means the mineral line is exposed. A base goes down. The production is under threat. SCVs are falling here at the 3rd.
Yeah, this is one of the most painful things about altitude, is if you're across a map when an attack like this comes in, you're not going back home. There's just way too much ground to cover.
Exactly, and now it's going to be Cure's turn to be the aggressor. He comes in with 2 multi-pronged drops. He's going to get a lot of worker kills. He may even take down a hatchery as well, but we have reinforcements coming in from Elazer. He's cleaning up the drop on the left-hand side at least.
Yeah, Bane's taking out some of those Marines on the left-hand side, as you can see in the picture-in-picture. They are just going to be doing whatever drone damage they can. Pretty equivalent worker damage from both sides here. Looks like Cure is going to at least be able to take out this one hatch, but still 4 remaining for Elazer. And once again, we are seeing a very scrappy game between these two.
Yeah, exactly. Both players are hurting. It looks like that drop did move over towards the left-hand side. The hatchery is under threat, but only 3 Marines are in that drop. A massive mule hammer on that mineral line. The Banelings will not make it in.
Yeah, they're going to settle for the depots, which does supply block Cure quite heavily. Observer pointing out as well, it looks like Elazer forgot his Bane speed in all the chaos of this double drop and dealing with that, so he is going to have to take his time a little bit more building that, but He is still finding damage with the Banelings. I love this Burrowed Ling as well. That's such a good use of Burrow.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just getting an eye on the fourth base and delaying the fourth base even further. So good moves here out of Elazer. As you were saying, with the lack of Baneling speed, he can't be as active as he would have liked to have been. It is a pretty crucial upgrade, so we'll see if Cure can take advantage of him. We have seen time and time again, the target firing of Cure is impeccable, and he's going to have the opportunity to really flaunt that.
I've had someone do these Burrowed Lings on the side of the map before, and I got so confused. I was like, why does this Zerg have observers? Like, what's going on?
How does he see me? How does he know? As another massive Ling run by, once again, the third base is not going to be mining, but at the same time, all these queens are going to go down. Oh wait, the burrow!
Yeah, the Queen's going to be burrowing, so they do force out a bit of a scan from Cure. Laser just being annoying, just denying even more economy, which is pretty painful when you are in these low eco situations. I mean, on only 3 bases, having to use scans does stop you from using quite a few mules.
Yeah, and bearing in mind that we want a mule, by the way, because Kira's been losing so many SCVs, he's been desperately trying to get his economy going, so we saw that he clearly just didn't have another scan available. He doesn't want to scan.
Yeah, Kira is really struggling for money. Once again, trying to get that 4th up, but every single time that he's gone for that 4th, it has been denied by a counterattack of the Laser, and he is really struggling to make anything happen. I mean, it's just so hard to catch these counterattacks out on the map when the map is so damn huge.
Yeah, exactly. And these Burrowed Lings, they even catch another double drop on the left-hand side. Elazer is aware of what's going on. His upgrades are on the way. He catches the Metamax!
Yeah, that's just about game ending there. Cure cannot afford to be losing that much supply here, and this is all trapped now.
It is all trapped. Did you see the army on the left-hand side also being caught out by the Ling Bane as well? A decent mine shot's going to be going off, but we need more than just that. Again, Cure, he is starved for money. He needs another base. Thankfully, he does now have his third base up and running. He has been left alone for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, it is quite funny. Both players keep missing each other out on the map, so we are having such a scrappy game all over the place. But Elazer doing a really good job splitting up into 2 different places. The Burrowed Banelings are back in play as well, which could be quite devastating.
Let's go, Bob. We'll see if we do get a juicy connection with those Burrowed Banelings. We can see Sensor Towers on the way for Cure, so it looks like he wants to slow things down at least a little bit and be more prepared for these run-bys. 4th base is now being taken. Cure successfully getting his economy back up and running. Another medevac did get sniped. Oh no!
Oh, and the Burrowed Banelings, they are going to be going off. That's a lot of Marines going down. Elazer was paying attention there. Very good stuff from him. And he is going to be stopping this 4th from getting landed on the right-hand side here. Another Burrowed Ling going to make that just another thing that Cure needs to pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly. As we do have a massive attack here at the 3rd base. It just got up and running, and 24 SCVs are going to be going down. The tank as well, and Elazer is just breaking the economy here of Cure. And back at home, Elazer is at 81 drones.
Yeah, Elazer in a much healthier place this time around, and he is just continuing to batter down Cure. Cure really pushed up against the wall now, and he's going to be struggling to deal with this.
He really is. He's going to have to try and go against his own nature and just turtle up and saturate these 3 and 4 bases. But as he does that, Elazer, he can just tech up even further, start working on 2-2, working on Hive Tech, and even start working on Vipers to kind of break the defensive position that Cure may go for.
Yeah, I do kind of recall Spirit when he was playing against Elazer on this map, using 3 factories really early on to just pump out tanks and turtle. And that seemed to be quite effective, but he was in a much better spot than Cure is now. Cure is really going to be struggling to survive the next couple of attacks.
Yeah, in a way, Cure was almost punished for how active he was on this map, as opposed to Spirit, who, again, is more willing to just stay at home instead. Meanwhile, this scan is going to reveal those Burrowed Banelings, so at least will shut one of them down, but the other does barely escape, as Elazer is diving on the medevacs once again!
Oh, yeah, Cure, a little bit of a misclick there. Doesn't get those medevacs straight out of there. Fortunately, isn't going to be losing them, but there we go. Massive amount of Banelings getting morphed in on the right-hand side here. Elazer is done with this. He does not want that PF to be sticking around.
Yeah, Elazer is maxed out 200 supply, up 40 compared to Cure, and he's ready to just roll into these planetaries, roll into these bases. Cure, he does have a couple of tanks on the right-hand side at least, but he's going to need some very good connections if he wants to hold on to his bases.
Yeah, that's right. As here we go. Cure is being descended upon by Elazer from all angles. He is looking to just crush this position, and there is just not enough to defend this PF, but he's going for the army anyway.
He's going for everything. He's going for the army, going for the planetary as well. A lot of Banelings is going to be going down. Not the most efficient trade, but the base does fall.
Yeah, base falls, couple tanks can be falling as well. Elazer needs to back off here, but Cure, I do not think he has the economy to replace this army.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's got a decent worker count, but he doesn't have the bases. He doesn't have the economy that he really needs. Elazer, meanwhile, just spreading out his creep, really solidifying himself. It's been so long here since Cure has been active on Elazer's side of the map.
Yeah, okay, and we do have that 2-2 for Elazer finishing up pretty soon. He has kind of neglected his upgrades for a little while here, but he is about to have 2-2-2 to the 2-2 of Cure, and that should allow him to trade a little bit better. But, you know, he doesn't really have to do anything until Cure takes a fourth.
It's true. Like, really, Elazer, all he really needs to do is deny that fourth time and time again whenever Cure attempts to take it, and we can do that by just rolling in wave after wave of Banelings. I'm not too sure if Elazer has an Infestation Pit. I don't think he has a Hive yet, so we're kind of lacking in some of that tech and some of those upgrades, but again, there's no kind of rush for Elazer to work on that.
Yeah, looks like that might be the main that's floating down to take that fourth for Cure, so he is absolutely on his last legs right now.
Yeah, exactly. One last base is being taken. We can see Cure has a good tank count, but he is spread very thin in between all of his bases. He's still vulnerable at his third and his fourth base. And Elazer is getting ready to push in once again. He has remaxed.
Yeah, 111 lings here for Elazer. He's going to try to jump on top of these tanks. Those lings are getting smushed, but they're at least taking the attention from the tanks. This orbital is in big trouble. Cure is in big trouble.
Yeah, the tanks are going down one after the other. A couple will hold on, but the base itself is going to fall. That is the natural floating over. GG gets called, and Elazer is going to take down Cure 1-1.
Let's go. Big pop-off from Elazer. Lovely to see the emotion and the relief there. He realizes that he's done a really fantastic thing for his team there in taking out Cure.
There you go. And we were talking about it, right? We're talking about it in the lead up. Even Diego was shouting at his teammates. You know, Clem may be the ace player, but players like Elazer, players like SKillous, they can take down these big names themselves as well. And Elazer, show that to us here and now, taking down Cure.
Yeah, that's right. He does take down Cure. So both players trading 1-1. They will be knocked out. And that means that we have next player from both sides. Yesterday, ABYDOS sent out Creator as the second player. And I would love to see Clem versus Creator, just personally. But I think we could also be seeing SKillous.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of the risk that you take. The risk that ABYDOS took, right? They fielded their ace player first. Cure, he came out swinging, he came out, and I'm sure they wanted him to take down a couple of players, at least one or at least two, before he himself fell. And to lose him this early on is a pretty devastating position for ABYDOS to be in. They still have some really strong players, but losing Cure this early on, not ideal.
Yeah, that's right. So this is going to make this very spicy, and you can see how much it means to Elazer, how important this team league is to these players. Team Liquid, they really want to go for it. They want to try to get the win here and win this whole competition.
Yeah, exactly. I think coming into the playoffs, everyone is looking at Basilisk, everyone is looking at Onside and Dragon Kaizi Gaming for good reason. You know, they did place top 3, but you know, ABYDOS and Team Liquid, they are also teams that can vie for that #1 slot, that #1 spot, and Team Liquid really showing that off here by bringing down a player like Cure. Very impressive already. And now both teams have to field 2 new players.
Yeah, freshy to deathy. Let's go.
All right, if you're in the chat, let's get some predictions going. No poll, I mean, but who do you think is going to be fielded here? Are we going to see DRG, Creator, or Nightmare from ABYDOS? And from Team Liquid, are we going to see SKillous, Clem, or Diego, or even Mana from Team Liquid? Who do you think? Who do you want and who do you think?
Both Clem.
Okay. I feel like Team Liquid, they're going to go for the other approach, where ABYDOS, they fielded their ace first. I think they want to save Clem for last. I'm getting that impression. But if that was the impression, do they really want to rely on a PvP? Because you just mentioned it, right? I think the chance of ABYDOS fielding Creator is a little bit higher, so they may want to snipe Creator with Clem.
Well, what if Clem's still asleep?
It is
think
pretty.
about that, did you?
It is pretty early in Europe, and by that, what I mean by that is pretty early for Clem. So could be asleep. Could be asleep. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it could be like, I don't know, if it's 1 p.m., 2 p.m., that's kind of pushing it.
Yeah, exactly. Clem, he may just now be getting out of bed, rolling on out, and he's getting called on Kakao. He's getting called on WhatsApp, and hopefully he's able to wake up. Hopefully he's able to be here in time. But yeah, jokes aside, I wouldn't be opposed to something a little bit more quirky, like SKillous versus DRG. But that's my inner Zerg wanting to watch a ZVP. That's my pick. That's my pick.
Fair enough. Yeah, I do really enjoy watching SKillous play.
Definitely a fun guy. Oh. But yeah, we're getting a couple of predictions in here. We're getting some Creator versus Cleanse. We're getting Nightmare versus Skillous. Meanwhile, we do see Clem is he's just now waking up. He's got that bed hair going. But Mana is also available alongside Skillous. They're here.
Yeah, I mean, Mana, I think he's taken a bit more of a managerial role for Team Liquid.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that as well, that he is kind of more like the senior player, more management. Skillous looks like he's chiming in a little bit. Maybe they could be sending him. Oh, I love the shirt that Clem's got as well.
Yeah.
With the French colors going.
Does look really sick. But I agree. Like it's really cool to have support like a Elazer and support like Mana, where they're there to provide some like insight, some wisdom, especially with their experience. They can talk things through. They can hype up their players. They can talk strategy as well. That's kind of the added value here of this team league format, is you do have a team to support you, to help you out.
Where's Elazer? They just got rid of him. They're like, you've lost. You're dead to us.
It's the opposite, mate. It's like, mate, you're done. Go spoil yourself. You just took down Kira, Papi. It's beautiful.
I love Skillous as well. He's got the anime glint in his glasses.
Yeah. Oh my god. Is he the protagonist? Is he going to be coming out? That is the question. In my mind, I'd also like to think that Elazer, he pulled an Oreo where he just like, he popped off and he just like left his webcam on and stepped out of the room. And he's just
took the bathrobe out, walked through his house. Proud.
The pants were down. He stepped outside and now he's gone, never to be seen again.
Just like Forrest Gump. He just ran out the door, just ran. Never stopped. Halfway across the country now.
Let's go. And do we have our starting player here? Creator is upon us, and I wonder if if they're just showing, you know, the call that's going on right now between the players, or if he's stepping into the ring.
Yeah, looks like he's warming himself up here as well. A little bit of tension on his face as well. You can see it means a lot to him. Creator's always so much fun to watch. He's such an emotional player, and he really does wear his heart on his sleeve when he goes into important games like this.
He does. Like that's why he's an easy player to get behind and cheer for, and he can be really endearing as well, just because he is so passionate. And he's also a very terrifying player as well. So yeah, it could be coming out. For those wondering, Creator is the oh my god, we're censoring Diego.
That's fair enough.
What are you doing, Papi? What are you doing? As Creator is the team captain for his team, and oh my god, he turns off the cam.
We had the split mana. We had the you know, when you get, have you played that game where you go through newspapers and you find faces in the newspapers and you like fold it in the middle so it like cuts out the nose? And it's just like the eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
We had that going on, but horizontally.
There you go. But you got to say that he's being split. We have the good and the evil mana rocking up here, the devil and the angel on the player's shoulders. But
no, he's a Protoss player. It's all evil.
he is the devil. Oh, I understand. But here we go.
Yo.
You asked for it. You wanted it. The people wanted it, and we got it. It's gonna be Creator versus Clem.
Yeah, 10 in micro for Mr. Clem as well. I feel like he didn't have that before, but looks like he's finally going to get the nod. And it makes a lot of sense, that is where his strengths lie. But he does have that Avenger kind of superhero shirt on. Is he going to be the superhero the Team Liquid needs today?
Is he going to be the hero that we need? We're going to find out as the players are getting ready. Two very powerful opponents here. Creator and Clem are stepping into the ring. As a reminder to the
Oh, I
format.
worked this out.
Oh,
Sorry, go on.
okay, I was gonna say to the format. 2 zeros means that you do stay on a 1-1 and you knock each other out. Go for it.
Okay, so this pie chart, it's really pointless because it's going to be different for every race, but it's how much you spend on eco units, infrastructure, and upgrades. So tech is upgrades.
Tech is upgrades.
That's why it's
Build-
such a small slither, because it's how much you spend on upgrades.
Build is production.
Yeah, I think it's just like your gateways or your Raxes or whatever.
Interesting. Why are they showing us that? That's so weird.
I have no idea. Like,
That's
it's so unimportant. It's just like
Yeah.
this is going to be different for different races.
yeah. I thought that was just like stats on like the kind of player that they are, but no, it's just resources spent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shaking my head. Shaking my head.
ABYDOS versus Team Liquid Game 2，就让比赛开始吧。
Let's
Alright.
go.
Here we go. We are diving into our next best of 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner for Team ABYDOS. The team captain himself, the blue Protoss player, the South Korean. It is Creator.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map. Representing Clem, representing Team Liquid as well. This is Clem.
Lem?
It's what cats do when they lick themselves. They do a little Clem. You know when a cat's licking itself and then halfway through it just kind of stops with its tongue stuck out?
Is Clem the cat?
Yeah, something like that. I think he likes cats.
Yeah,
I think it's his only emote on Twitch.
Fair enough, fair enough. As we are diving into this, and a special shout out to all the sponsors of the WTL as well: Doyu, Hypergriff, Taido, Rio de Janeiro. Without these lovely sponsors, this event would not be possible. On top of that, I don't think we have a command for it, but World Team League, they are now selling gift boxes. Some very special merch is on sale. They've got shirts, they've got stickers, they have badges, they have a lot of StarCraft WTL merch for this season, so check it out.
Nice. Good stuff. But we're seeing pretty standard builds coming out from both of these players here. And I did notice as well, they've got skins on. I feel like normally they don't play with skins.
Yeah. Show
But
the skin.
the Nexus skin looks nice for Creator. I like it.
Yeah, it's always really cool to see what skins the players are using. A great way to just kind of show off a little bit of individuality as well. As we are getting into our openers, an economic racks expand out of Clem. You love to see it. No crazy double gas shenanigans. Likewise, nothing too crazy coming up from Creator either.
Yeah, Clem has a pretty similar approach in most matchups, except maybe TVT, where he does like to just go for the same builds again and again and outplay his opponents with just constant aggression through the mid game. So he just goes for pretty much the most standard economic builds most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. At times it does deviate, but those are more rarities than the norm here for Clem. As we do see Creator opting for his tech of choice is going to be going for a Twilight Council opener.
The other thing as well is Clem has been, playing a lot against Max Pack, so he's refined his 4-gate blink defense to the point that his build kind of plays around that as well. So we're often seeing him go for a mine drop with only 1 mine. We're seeing him get a few extra marines at the start as well. So he is playing what is a very defensive, flexible style that's very strong against 4-gate blink. So I feel like Creator is not the kind of player to actually go for 4-gate blink, but it would be very good for Clem if he does.
I'll be honest, I don't actually see too many players in general in the Korean scene go for 4-gate blink Stalker anymore. Maybe Hero every now and then, but for the most part, it feels like a build that has fallen off.
I think when Hero does it as well, he goes Oracle into blink. It's just, I think it's mostly the Europeans that are really big on 4-gate blink, but so far we do have 3 gates going down. Creator is going to be playing, I think he was playing this a lot yesterday as well. Just a slightly delayed third base.
Yeah, every PvT that we casted yesterday of Creator did begin with that 3-gate Blink Stalker into a third. At the same time, we do have an Adept slipping in towards that main base. Does avoid that Widowmine. Up.
Yeah, really impressive multitask coming out from both of these players. Both of them trying to outpace each other with all of this going on in both bases. But this is the kind of game that Clem loves. He loves to have these little micro skirmishes. His play revolves around taxing your attention and his build not slipping up where yours is.
Exactly, and in the end, he was able to get a couple of probe kills. Meanwhile, Creator did get a full scout across the map as well. Was able to confirm the add-ons, was able to confirm the production, and he should be getting ready for that mine drop as the drop is moving out across the map.
Yeah, drop moving out. Creator still hasn't taken that third base just yet. It should be going down pretty soon, but behind this, Clem just going for a very standard Raven and tank, so probably going to be seeing 2 tanks into that 3-1-1 push. This is pretty much as standard as it gets. I know Clem is a big fan of Cure, and this is kind of your textbook Cure TVP.
Yeah, is it wise to play like Cure, though, especially when you're up against his teammates, when you're up against Creators? Here we go, the drop is coming on in. Creator does the reaction time, he will pull back, he will only lose, 1 probe.
Yeah, very crisp reactions, but Clem just being annoying as possible. He has so much attention to spare with this sort of thing, and even though he only got 1 probe there, with the amount of mining time that was denied, that is well worth it.
Yeah, definitely. It was so far a good scout from Clem, a decent amount of damage, and he still has another Widowmine hidden in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, double bunker at the front. Clem thinks this is 4K Blink again.
Yeah, fun fact, I don't know if you saw earlier, but when the Hellion dove in, there actually was a 4th gateway, and after the Hellion died, Creator cancelled it.
Okay, so yeah, as far as Clem is concerned, this is 4K Blink. Should be dawning on him about now that something's not right. It should have hit by now, so I'm sure he's realizing that he should be playing this out a little bit differently. And yeah, Creator going for a fast storm here. Very interesting.
Definitely. And yeah, when they showed the Clem's vision there, you could see that there was a building that doesn't actually exist anymore in the vision of Clem. So yeah, really interesting to see Creator just kind of go for these mind games and try to fake out his opponent. Clem now has realized as he does salvage that bunker, and Creator is just setting up his third base alongside that storm, as you mentioned.
Yeah, as a result of this, Clem's medevacs are incredibly delayed. He, instead of getting the reactor for his starport, he used his starport to form a wall, which would have been really effective against 4-gate Blink. But yeah, this was a really cool play by Creator. This is something you don't see too often, really.
Yeah, exactly. You barely see a canceled building like that. But here we go. The Raven is coming in for some harass. 1 probe goes down. 2 probes go down. Not too bad here for just some energy.
Yeah, this is like some Mio Micro Zerg action. You get your all-in scouted, you cancel it, you go for something else altogether. It's often an all-in, it's a little bit later on. But yeah, it's going to be Charge. It's going to be Storm as well. Creator's setting up on this corner as well for maybe a Gateway. Yep, Gateway is going to be going down, and this can be really hard to deal with. This is crazy to see Creator playing like this. I feel like this is a throwback to Zest. He's playing so much like Zest.
Exactly, a very active start, especially with that proxy gateway. Meanwhile, the army is in the midst of moving out. So far, good kiting at a Creator, just slowing down that push, picking up a couple of Marines here and there, just weakening the force before it gets across the map.
So we are getting towards 7 minutes. Creator is playing like Zest. He is getting that proxy gate in the north. He's going for Storm to defend the push. So this is when he needs to start floating 1,100 minerals.
The true Zest way of playing, and here we go. Clem is rocking up. Creator a little bit out of position, expecting the army to come in from a different angle. The High Templar are here. Can they get their storms?
Yeah, Clem just goes anyway without the medevacs, and against Storm, that's pretty scary. But wow, fantastic micro dodging out the storms. But big Storm lands on all of the bio of Clem, and he has got to get out of there.
He really does. It was good target firing from the tanks. He did take down 2 of those High Templar earlier, but 1 survived. 1 storm is all it took, and Clem is forced back.
Yeah, absolutely brutal storm, and Clem can't pick up and get out with the medevacs because the Stalkers will just blink on it, so he's going to be losing a little bit more here.
Yeah, exactly. He's bleeding out even more of these Marines. Widowmines are coming in to help support, but they are not in position. Creator, he bypasses the Widowmines. He goes towards that third base, is even going to be able to pick off a couple of them. Do you have that drop coming back in? But that may have just been an F2 as the drop does go down.
Yeah, a bit of an F2 there, and Clem moving these 4 mines out of position, bailing on that drop to try to stop this push doesn't quite work out for him, and he is pretty much dead here.
Yeah, exactly. There's not enough to hold on to that third base. Again, losing that main push was disastrous, especially with how one-sided or how that was cleaned up, and now we have to lift up that third base. We still have an army here on the ground. We do at least preserve some of those workers, but Creator, he's taking a 4th behind this.
Yeah, Creator as well here. He's got 4 Immortals, and that is a terrifying backbone to his army. That's a really difficult thing to engage into as Terran. And man, Clem is so overstimmed now as well. He's trying to pick off any units that just creep forward a little bit here, but he barely has enough to hold on to the game, let alone his turn.
And this is where that proxy gateway comes into play. The reinforcements, they don't take too long at all to rock up. We have another storm zoning back the army. We saw some friendly fire with that Wintermine earlier as well. Creator has to be careful with his Immortals. Doesn't want to lose too many of them, but he can push on forward anyway. He can still try to break this natural.
Yeah, a bit of copium coming out from Clem now, just going for the individual pickups on the Marauders, trying to dodge out those Stalker shots. But I mean, honestly, Creator is just being patient. He could probably just charge in if he wanted to, but he wants to secure this win.
He really does. Behind this, we do see Clem coming in, but he takes a storm to the face. The CC is on fire. Good control, dodging that Widowmine with the Immortal. Oh my god.
Yeah, very crisp from Creator. If Clem is going to force him to stay in here, he's at least going to show off a little bit.
He's like, man, you think you got some good drop play? Nah, man, I'll show you how to juggle. As he does preserve those units, the boys are being pulled as well. You can see the last name of the storm.
Big storm goes down on all of those SCVs, and Creator here is just going to be backing off, forcing Clem to attack into him. Clem wants to fight to the very last, but big fist bump from Creator. He loves it.
GG, well played. Such a solid game there out of Creator. Not just his play being solid, but also the mind games as well. Selling a bit of a story, just giving some false information and using it to his advantage.
Absolutely, and I think stylistically a very clever way to play against Clem as well. You know Clem's going to be forcing the issue, trying to attack, trying to put the pressure on you this whole time. So I do think that Storm is a pretty clever tech to go for, just because it does shut down those early pushes so well.
Yeah, as we saw, 1-2 good storms is all you need here. And oh boy, just like that, Clem was on the back foot. And now he needs to bring it back here and now in game number 2. It is going to be Clem's map choice. It is his map pick. If he wins this game, he brings down Creator with him. They take each other out. If Creator wins this, then Team ABYDOS are going to get a lot of momentum.
Yeah, if Creator wins this, we then have to see probably a PvP snipe, or Elazer trying to snipe as well. I think the PvP snipe in particular is going to be pretty difficult because Creator showed yesterday he is in fine form with this PvP.
Yeah, exactly. He was looking so damn good yesterday in those PvPs, looking so dominant against the Protoss players of the Starving Camels. So yeah, SKillous is maybe he studied those VODs. Maybe he can just read something from Creator that maybe he can take advantage of. But I'm getting ahead of myself, of course, because Clem still has a good chance, especially with his map pick.
Yeah, that's right. Clem might have something nasty in store if that was a frustrating game for him.
I'm reminded of, I think it was 3 weeks ago. It was the week before Gamers 8, or maybe 2 weeks before, where we casted ESL Open Cup Americas. The finals between MaxPax and Clem did a variation of Proxy Marauder like almost every game. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. I mean, I've heard Clem say it before. Cure is his favorite player, but it's so cool to see him completely emulating Cure when I do feel like they have pretty different styles, actually.
Yeah, especially in some of the other matchups, right? So it's cool that he takes inspiration, but clearly, Clem is his own player as well, and is willing to mix things up in a way that Cure doesn't. It would be nice to see them face off at some point here tonight. It's possible, especially if we get to the revived matches. But we'll see how this turns out as we have our map pick.
Yeah, okay. We are going to be going to Dragon Scales here for Clem. So this is a map that's going to allow him to be a little bit more aggressive with multi-prong. Lots of weird angles for your drops to come in from. And pretty good setup as well to be going into a later game, securing a 4th, securing a 5th as well.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And that could be kind of the direction that Clem is thinking is heading, or he could have something spicy instead. We'll see. That's always something to bear in mind when it comes to these map picks. The players, they do have a little bit of time in the lead up here to these matches to prepare for some specific scenarios, and I'm sure Clem was preparing for Creator at some point.
Yeah, I think so, but yeah, Creator showing some very interesting prepared builds there, as here he is spawning in at the top left-hand corner of the map. He is in the blue. He's South Korean. He plays Protoss. Yeah, it's good. It's Creator.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the ace player for Team Liquid, the French Terran, the Red Terran. It is Clem. Boy, here we go. Creator already popping off here, already starting with a bit of a lead against Clem. And can he keep that up? Can Clem fight back? For the time being, looks like a rack expand setup here from Clem.
Yeah, standard stuff again from Clem. I think he might have gone for a gas first. I'm not sure. We could see him go for a proxy starport for a Hellion drop. That is a build that he really likes in this matchup.
I'm curious to see that as well. As the SCV does take the long way around here. It is looking to set up for an eBay block at the natural base of a Creator. So being a little bit cheeky, looking to be a little bit frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, it was a gas first as well. So this is a build that Clem used to use a lot. So with his gas first, you can go for a Hellion drop. You can also go for a very fast Cyclone. It's something that I only really see Clem do a lot. But with the gas first, you have this timing where you can move out with 5 Marines and a Cyclone. And you can get really aggressive with that and pick off some gateway units if your micro is fantastic.
Yeah, we'll see what he can get done. Meanwhile, the engineering bay has quite a lot of progression on it already. Does force out a zealot from a Creator. It looks like he does not want to take the unnatural natural, especially with an aggressive opener like a gas first. He doesn't want to be forced to defend 2 bases in really far away locations, so is looking to swallow this pill and take a later Nexus.
Yeah, it's going to be the later Nexus. Clem as well, going to be delaying his expansion, going for that factory before expanding, and the way that he's positioning his SEV as well, potentially a starport too. Creator's very aware of this though.
Oh yeah, he is, as he throws down his own proxy pylon out on the map as well. The starport is thrown down in the center of the map.
Yeah, okay, so it's going to be a Hellion drop, but Creator going for something aggressive. This is really smart. He's actually not even going to be taking his natural, and this lines up so well against the kind of build that Clem's going for. It actually just completely shuts it down. It's just a 1 base 4 gate, and Clem is going to have nothing to do with this.
He's got a scout as well, so the 1 base 4 gate all in from Creator. He does come across the starport. Can he kill the SCV?
It's he's gonna kill it.
Oh my god.
That's just game. There's no way Clem can win this game.
The drop is so delayed. He has Hellions to work with, sure, but Clem, he doesn't know he's in the dark. He doesn't even know that he's being all in.
Clem's going to have like 4 Hellions and a couple Marines to deal with 4 and then 8 Stalkers. There is no chance he holds this.
Oh boy, we'll see if the stars align. His Hellions are checking the left-hand side. They do come across the proxy, so he's now aware of the aggression coming his way.
Yeah, that helps a lot. I mean, knowing this is the first step to holding it. He can throw down a bunker, he can get a tank as quickly as he can back at home, and there's that bunker right away, but these Hellions are still going to have to go across the map.
Yeah, exactly. They still need to do some damage. They do get eyes on the warp in. The Creator, he's moving everything out across the map. 6 Stalkers so far are here. Hellions are going to avoid them. They're going to be heading out across the map, but Creator, he's not slowing down his push.
Yeah, he's not. He's sending a couple Stalkers back home as well. Clem pre-pulling some SEVs. He really needs to get this bunker up. It's going to be so close, but the bunker goes down. Big sigh from Clem. That was what he needed to hold this, and looks like it's not really going to be happening.
A couple of seconds is all he needed. The bunker goes down. The Marines are putting in a lot of DPS here in the backline, but they're being focused down as well. The tank does come out, and the Hellions are getting to the mineral line.
Okay, the tank is here. That's huge. And the tank is preventing anything from coming in. Creator is going to be able to push this back, so we're going to have a very strange 1 base versus 1 base game.
Yeah, exactly. We saw the picture-in-picture, and Creator is expanding. He throws down a Nexus. He's at least containing Clem to 1 base. Meanwhile, Clem, the Hellions, they did spot the natural as it was thrown down for Creator.
Oh, yeah, and this starport is going to go down. Clem realizes that as well, so I think he's going to put it on the Overlord pillar.
Is going to attempt to save that starport in that Overlord pillar, and again, at least Clem is holding on. He does have his 2nd base as well. It's in the main, but it is now an orbital, so he can make 2 SCVs at a time. And yeah, things are kind of going to be settling down a little bit. It's still rough here to lose that starport, though.
Yeah, I don't think the Overlord pillars work for buildings.
Yeah.
It's too big.
They're too thick, Bappy. They're too thick.
But Clem does get that CC up, so I say all in all, it looks like a pretty even game. Clem might even be slightly ahead. He is ahead on workers.
Yeah, he has that worker lead. He's got mules to work with as well. Interesting move from Creator. He is transitioning into a Stargate Phoenix production and a Twilight Council behind it.
Okay, he's going to be getting that set up now. A few tanks already for Clem, but this Phoenix transition is going to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So he's going for Phoenixes initially, and it's going to be charged behind it. That's kind of the main bulk here of the army for Creator. That's what it's going to be. We'll see if the Phoenixes can do anything to really slow Clem down as he is rebuilding that starport back at home and getting ready for it to eventually be active on the map.
Yeah, there aren't too many options for him now, and Creator realizes that he's going to be throwing down that third base as well. It's going to be Charge and Phoenixes, skipping Blink altogether.
Yeah, exactly. The Phoenix is going to try to take the role of those Blink Stalkers and take control of the map. Hallucinations are diving in, just getting a full scout of the main base, seeing the 3-1-1 setup here of Clem. Because that starport is so delayed, because it's so late, it does mean that, he can't really go for any drop play anytime soon. I also don't think Clem has seen the Phoenixes yet. I don't think he's fully aware of them, fully aware of like what he has to be aware of, be careful of when he does eventually try to move out.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he did get that second starport up now. It means his medevacs again are going to be extremely delayed. He's going to have to be careful not to lose those to Phoenix as well. This can get really nasty. If he does push out and the Phoenix collapse on him, the Phoenix take out the medevacs, the Zealots take out the push, that can just be devastating, and we could see him losing in a very similar fashion to that last game.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Phoenix was just spotted by those Hellions, so again, now Clem is aware of at least the tech that Creator is working with, and he's going for a drop here over on the left-hand side. The Phoenixes are looking for drops over on the right instead, so far so good. Clem is sneaking out that drop.
Yeah, that's right. He is going to be trying to sneak out the edge. Clears out that proxy finally, so that's a thorn in his side he won't have to worry about. But I'm a little bit worried for him if he does move out into the middle of the map here. This is not the kind of army that trades very well against mass charge lots.
Yeah, but Creator's attention is across the map. He has another proxy gateway being set up here on the right-hand side as well. The drop is slipping on in. A couple of reinforcements are going to get picked up by those Phoenixes, but Clem, he gets off the unload, was not spotted by anything in the main.
Yeah, he finds a blind spot. I'm a little bit worried for him going for this push. He really wants to push the multi-prong pressure here. He's going to be able to take out a lot of the main, and really importantly, gets a scout on the DT shrine.
Yeah, exactly. He's aware of the DTs. He knows he needs to preserve some of those scans. The Zealots are busy dealing with the drop. They're not here on the front lines.
Yeah, they aren't. So these tanks are going to be able to get pot shots on these Stalkers. They are destroying the Stalkers. I'm not sure if Clem is aware that there's a DT on top of his army as well. Looks like if he is, he doesn't have the scan for it, but there he goes. Scan does go down. Phoenix are going to be able to clear up the rest of this quite efficiently, but Clem getting a good amount of damage.
Yeah, he did trade well, but he's going to be losing every one of these tanks. At least the medevacs do survive. Ooh, 12 pros went down as they were pulled earlier, so yeah, Creator, his economy is not looking too hot, but that was a big loss army-wise for Clem.
Yeah, Clem caught out in the middle of the map. He is going to try to bait this army over the mines. He has to be careful, of course, if Creator does recognize this. He could use one of these Phoenix to bait the mine over the top of the Terran army.
Yeah, exactly. Could try to use it against them and cause that friendly fire. Phoenix is just sharking around looking for more damage. They do get eyes on the third CC. They do take some mines to the face.
Yeah, pretty hefty mine shots, so a lot of hull damage going on those Phoenix. That's actually pretty nasty for Creator. You don't want that happening with your Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of them do go down. Shields are gone, and that means he can't be as active with them. He does have to pull back, but the DTs are coming back into the mix. They're going to be slipping in, looking for some damage. The missile turrets are done in the mineral lines, though, so Clem should be okay.
Yeah. He should be, and that's the operative word here, but he is going to be chasing back these Zealots, trying to stay on top of Creator. Creator has a lot of army spread out across the map, and I'm a little bit worried that Clem is walking into the jaws of the beast here.
Yeah, he has to be very careful not to be surrounded. Zealots are all around him. Phoenixes as well, as Creator is getting his economy back up and running. Still not quite where it needs to be. Still just recovering from those losses earlier, and here we go. The Zealots are going in.
Yeah, here we go, the 360 surround. We do have those mines getting some fantastic shots on the Zealots. That's exactly what Clem needed. He should be able to stand and fight with all these weakened units, and he's going to show off his incredible stutter step micro. It's going to be very close. Creator doing everything he can with the Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly. We can see so many Zealots being shaved off here by the army of Clem. The mine shots were good enough. The star stepping was good enough as well, and now Clem, he's got some momentum.
Yeah, that was pretty much Creator's last chance to shut down Clem's aggression, and I think he's just not going to have enough of an economy to deal with the bio now.
Yeah, exactly. Still been struggling to recover. He just doesn't have enough of an army on the ground. Once again, good kiting. Once again, good mine shots are going off, and Clem is looking to overwhelm his opponent. He's looking to lay siege on that third.
Yeah, good attempt at the drags there from Creator, but Clem's found a great place to set up shop. One of those mines should be able to get off as well. I'm not sure if Clem can target the Phoenix, but no, the Phoenix is going to be getting the pickups, but there's nothing left to defend them.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, there are only 3 Marines. Sorry, never mind. 4 or 5 Marines here. Can they be picked off here? No, it looks like Creator, he loses a little bit too much, and Clem is not slowing down.
Yeah, Clem shifting his seat there. He realizes that he can kind of take a deep breath. He can relax. He's got this one in the bag just about. And maybe not if he takes friendly fire from those mines like that.
Yeah, big mine shot does go off, but there's that scan that we were waiting for. Phoenix is looking to pick off some of those Medivacs as well, but no, the Medivacs do barely survive as well. Clem not slowing down. A big wave of Zelts are coming in. Can Creator barely hold on?
He is trying. I mean, this is some very impressive micro from Creator as well as doing such a good job maximizing the value of those Phoenix, but there's just no chance. I mean, the bio, it's too strong. The economy of Clem is just going to overwhelm Creator.
Exactly. He just has too much to work with. Even if Creator somehow deals with his army, it's still not going to be enough as he's just taking too many hits to the face. GG gets called, and Clem takes game number 2, tying it up 1-1 with Creator.
GG. Clem tying it up with a super scrappy game. Maybe getting a little bit fortunate that he was able to scout out that proxy, and he would have been in huge trouble if he didn't know about that.
Yeah, if he didn't know about the all-in that was coming his way, the bunker, I mean, it wasn't done to begin with, but he wouldn't have had that tank on the way anywhere near as quickly. He wouldn't have been able to respond and react the way that he did. Oh, so GG, well played. So far, we are neck and neck. Cure as well as Elazer knocked each other out. Creator and Clem also knocked each other out. Both teams need to field new players.
Yeah, that's right. So this has been neck and neck so far. This matchup between these two teams is so very close. I feel like it's definitely going to be coming down to an ace match. We might get to see Cure versus Clem.
Oh boy, we may get to see it if we get to that revive, if we get to that ace match. For now, who is going to be fielded? That is the question here. I think the likelihood of it being SKillous is pretty high, but from Team ABYDOS, do we field DRG or Nightmare? I feel like they're both valid options.
Yeah, definitely. SKillous versus Nightmare would be a really exciting PvP. I could see that going either way. Possible to see Diego as well. Oh, we got DRG there too.
Yeah, DRG there just underneath them. Nightmare over on the right, Creator over on the left. It looks like they are discussing amongst themselves who is going to get fielded as the third player. Again, I do think that they're both good options. Meanwhile, we can see the Team Liquid boys discussing as well who they want to send out.
Yeah, we've got Nightmare playing from the walk-in wardrobe. Love to see it.
Exactly. They're like, yo, it's time to send out SKillous. And SKillous is like, I can't
I'm out.
go.
I'm out, skis.
They sent him out to look for Elazer, Papi. Elazer's still missing. He's still gone. Sure.
It's like I need to go for a walk. For a little bit of a run.
He
there's
found
a
Elazer.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh boy. All right. If you're in the chats, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be SKillous? Is it gonna be Elazer, Nightmare, or DRG? Which final player will be fielded here from our teams?
Yo, did you see DRG had the pro gamer water bottle?
He did. It's like the leader water bottle with like the label ripped off. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so you can never leave your seat.
Oh my god. Taking it to the next level, mate. Never go outside and never leave your seat. Gaming all day. That's the dream.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Whatever you say, Pop. Whatever you say. And here we go. Here it is. It is Dongregyu.
All right, DRG. We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Again, DRG, he actually played this morning in the KSL. He faced off against Classic, and he didn't have a bad series. It went all the way to the ace match, but his ZVP is warmed up because he's up against SKillous.
Okay, so we are going to be getting to see that ZVP that you wanted. I wasn't really expecting it myself, but this is a great way to play out this third and final set before we go to the ace potentially.
Yeah, here we go. We are just showcasing all of the matchups here. We had the PVT earlier, we had the ZVT, and now the ZVP. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go.
Okay, I guess this is kind of interesting. You can see the unit compared to Eco for DRG.
Sure, I guess it makes sense. I do think that he's more of a mid-game oriented player, and that is shown there in those stats. But here we go. We are getting ready for our next best of 2. Game 1 on Gressvan. Oh, I hope you're ready for a long one.
Yeah, Gressvan, always a banger map. We've seen players often having these really drawn-out mid-games where there's just scrappy play going on for 10, 15 minutes, and we get into these super late split map games.
Definitely. And I do wonder how SKillous is going to be approaching this as well. You know, on a map like Gressvan, do we try to take advantage of some of those defensive features? Do we try to go for a late game? Do we try to get into that sky toss, which we have seen time and time again on this map? Or do we get down and dirty and scrappy?
Yeah, it's a question. I mean, DRG's shown a few times as well that he is still that Muta man that we know from times of old. And I think that can be really interesting in this matchup in particular.
Oh yeah, exactly. Mutas, they are definitely a viable tech path here in the ZVP, especially if it goes unscattered as well. They can sometimes get out of hand and get out of control, so that's something to bear in mind, something to be looking out for if you are a Protoss player, if you are up against DRG. But likewise, he can also flaunt his skill with the Ling Bane, with the Roach Ravager, with even Lurker play.
ABYDOS versus Team Liquid Game 3， 好戏开场了。
Beautiful. For now, we are tied up 2-2. Who takes the lead in this series? As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team ABYDOS. The one true Dong himself. It is DRG.
And here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, playing for Team Liquid, it is the Protoss in the red. This is SKillous. Going for a no-scout build.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Going to be allowing DRG to actually expand and take his natural base. He's so gracious.
He is a kind man. He actually is. I've heard very good things about SKillous.
Salt of the earth. Great guy. We love him. Yeah, it's good. Oh god. But yeah, as you were saying, so with this opener, DRG is going to be able to get his natural up and running. Is going to be a hatch gas pool skill. It's not really too concerned with really delaying him or even scouting him either. And I think that's a decent kind of risk you can take against DRG. He's not like Dark. He's not like Ragnarok. He's not one to be hyper aggressive in the early game.
He's not like those other boys.
Yeah, he's sensible.
He'll treat you right.
Put a ring on that finger.
True.
Oh goodness. Yeah, we are just getting into our standard openers here. It was a gate expand as well out of SKillous, so a little bit more greedy, a little bit more economic, delaying that cyber core a little bit to take that faster nexus. You love to see it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's finally going to get that scout across the map now. Just make sure that he's not getting all in or anything like that. So yeah, I really like the play coming out from SKillous here.
It's confident play coming out from SKillous, and I'm excited. I do feel like SKillous is a really unique player. I do think that at times he's willing to kind of forge his own path here in a lot of these matchups, and I want to believe that the same can be said here for the CVP.
SKillous, I told them you're a nice guy. What are you doing? Leave that drone alone.
The drone, it did nothing wrong, Papi. He was just going to work. He was just doing his duty. Oh.
He was just walking around with some minerals and he just got blasted.
As this probe is going to be swatted away and DRG is looking for that third base. Meanwhile, back at home, we have our tech of choice here from SKillous. It is the Stargate.
Yeah, there you go. So SKillous is going to spot out that base. And yeah, this is, I will say as well, from having played no scout a couple times with Protoss, it makes your build so nice when you don't scout. It doesn't seem like a big deal, skipping out on just that little bit of extra mining, but it makes everything, you just feel so rich. Like you have so much money. It's insane.
He's just making it rain, just swimming in its back home. And ooh, interesting choice here. It's a Stargate opener, which is very standard, but the initial unit is not. He's going for a Void Ray first.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing that some of the Korean players in particular do have this as their preference. It just allows you to clear up some of the vision, keep your opponent in the dark a little bit, can lead into two-base all-ins or something like that. And it can do a really good job of mixing up your play. I always really appreciate when people play like this, especially in these best of twos, just because having something like this where you clear out vision is a really good way to mix up two different builds from each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. And a bit of a fun fact as well. We actually casted quite a lot of this. We even casted this against DRG earlier today. Classic has been very fond of going for the Void Ray first, and he's had a couple of different follow-ups. Either going for Glaive at Eps, as you can imagine, just to keep it hidden and catch the opponent off guard. But something that Classic did a lot this morning was to go into a second Stargate, Fleet Beacon, Mass Void Ray.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing that out of SKillous. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He plays the game the right way.
He's not an animal like Classic. I mean, we see that here. You know, it is going to be the Oracle afterwards. We have a Forge, we have a Twilight Council, so nothing too crazy. As you were mentioning, the Void Ray keeps DRG in the dark, keeps him guessing, but there's nothing too crazy behind it. SKillous, he isn't going for any kind of crazy aggressive builds.
Yeah, Void Ray does dip in, doesn't get much done, but doesn't take any hull damage. Can't say the same for the Oracle. The Oracle getting a little bit frisky there and almost being taken out. Looks like SKillous going to be playing very standard out of this, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It is not going to be Blink, though. We're going to be going for Charge instead. This does mean that we should be seeing a Templar Archives momentarily as well, and you can be quite aggressive with these Archon Charge lot timings. There's definitely a window of opportunity where you could try to snowball out of control.
Yeah, that's right. You kind of get the opportunity to greed check your opponent as well, where you can go for this small attack with a couple Archons, a few Charge Lords as well, and see if they've, made the necessary preparations. And you have that flexibility where you can commit if they're weak, or you can just poke and force units if they're not.
Oh, exactly. So we'll see how SKillous does make use of that. And there it is. We have the Prism on the way. We have the Templar Archives as well. They are lined up, so when the Prism moves out across the map, it can warp in High Templar on the front line and morph in those Archons as well. So yeah, SKillous looking to soon be active, quite active on the map. DRG back at home still hasn't seen too much as, actually SKillous, he's taking up even further.
It's pretty cool. SKillous is playing like a Korean Protoss. I love it.
Exactly. So because we have the Robotics Bay on the way, it means that he's not going to be too committed with this. He's still going to be active on the map and harassing a little bit, don't get me wrong. I can even morph in those Archons, but for the most part, he's getting ready to go into either Disruptor or Colossus production and work towards a fourth.
Yeah, it would be very interesting. I presume we'll see Disruptors if it's more of a Roach-heavy style from DRG, and if it is more of that Ling Bane style, which does look like he is heading towards, probably going to be seeing those Colossus.
Yeah, definitely is. We do have a massive Link counterattack, and all the shield battery is not done, by the way. Probes are going to be going down.
Yeah, this is some real trouble. Skill's going to be stacking those probes, trying to get them out of there. I don't think there's really enough of Zealots to be able to deal with this, but here we go. Skill's going to be causing mayhem, just like we saw craziness in that first match of the day in the TVZ. We're going to be seeing action all over the map in this one as well.
Exactly, because the Lynx went across that means there's nothing back home to defend, and it looks like, what is that, 4 or 5 Queens go down. The Roaches are under threat, and across the map, the Lynx are getting even more probes. They should be cleaned up eventually, and these Zealots likewise should be cleaned up by these Roaches.
Yeah, absolute chaos on both sides. Skill is causing just enough damage on the other side of the map to make up for his losses as well.
Exactly, both players are hurting, and we're not stopping either. 2 Oracles do make it across the map. The Spore isn't done either. They can get a lot of drone kills. They can kill him.
No. All right, he does find the time to take down these drones, and so many of those are going to be going down. We have a couple more Zealots being dropped off. Looks like just about every single Queen of DRG has been taken down, and a few of these are drones going to be taken down as well. More importantly, he spots the mass roach build coming out from DRG, so we are going to be seeing disruptors.
Exactly. Disruptors are now on the way in response to the Mass Roach army that he did just spot. The first one is already out. Meanwhile, DRG is taking up into Hive Tech. A Hydra Den is on the way. We are seeing the beginnings here of Hydra Lurker Viper.
Yeah, okay, so Hydra Lurker Viper, potential for lurkers. Potential for those lurkers to get a lot of damage against a fairly immobile army that SKillous has.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, at the same time, DRG goes for a massive counterattack with his roaches, and despite there being disruptors, he does force a cancel on that 4th base, so a good amount of counter damage, just keeping SKillous busy back at home, making sure that he's not able to make full use of his worker count as he's up to 80 probes, but stuck on 3 bases, and there is that Hive, there is that Lunker Den.
Yep, Hive and Lurker Den on the way, +2 on the way as well, so those banelings will be able to one-shot probes. Very important upgrade in this matchup, but yeah, SKillous does not want to give DRG time to breathe. He's going to start these Zealot run-bys right away, double expanding as well behind this.
Yeah, I appreciate the double expansion, especially with the delay on the 4th base. So SKillous just wanting to just get into that good mid-game economy as quickly as possible. Second Robo's on the way as well for double disruptor production. And he also has access to those Hat Templar for something like feedbacks, which will be a great tool here against the Vipers that are on the way.
Yeah, but there we go. DRG going to be catching the Zealots out on the map. He is being very active with his units here, of course, and Viper's going to be fired up now as well.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're getting into that end game composition. We're getting there a little bit faster. Of course, DRG has the map control at the moment. He's spreading his creep quite freely here, and SKillous, for the most part, is stuck at home. He's been trying to go for these Zealot run-bys, but at every turn, DRG has caught them.
Yeah, that's right. DRG just being super active. I love that he's made so many Lings and Roaches as well. This is a really flexible army. If he wants to turn those all into Banelings and just go absolutely crazy now, he can, but instead he is just going to be testing the defenses of SKillous.
Yeah, and I was about to say whether or not we would see a transition into SkyToss, and we do, as the Ling Roach army is going to get forced back. The Fleet Beacon and the Stargate is thrown down already. Not a bad moment for it. I mean, we could have seen it a little bit earlier, but it looks like SKillous has correctly identified that DRG is headed towards Lurkers.
He's got no choice. He has to go SkyToss. There's nothing else he can do.
It's over.
He's just trying to survive.
There aren't even any Lunkers out yet, Poppy. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
He's trying to survive. As we have those 3 Stargates coming up, +1 attack on the way as well for air weapons. Skill's going to be setting up a few little Zealot run-bys as well. Oh, he does completely shut down these Lings. They walk into a brick wall in those Archons.
Yeah, they just annihilated that Ling run by. As you were saying, we are getting ready for that SkyToss. We haven't gotten into it yet, but there we go. The carriers are now in production. Zealots get into the main base. Workers are falling. We do manage to get a warp in. And what's important is that now the turns have tabled. DRG hasn't seen this transition, and he's losing a lot of workers.
Yeah, absolute chaos ensues. SKillous does want to be getting rid of some of the supply as well, trading out those Zealots the most convincing way that he can. Archon Disruptor, fascinating.
Yeah, and he's catching DRG out of position. The Lurkers arrive, but a little bit too late. Good yoinks coming out from DRG, barely saving those Lurkers.
Yeah, the Vipers are revealed to great effect, and a few of those Disruptors going to be going down. That Archon says, "Don't hurt my brother." Slaps that Queen down.
Does slap them down, and this is the danger right now. DRG, he has a great army against what he sees, against Disruptors and Archons, but he doesn't see the SkyToss transition, he doesn't see the carriers, he does not have a Spire.
Yeah, I feel like DRG's got a window of about 1 or 2 minutes where this game is winnable, and then after those carriers come out, he is just completely stuffed.
Yeah, like the problem is that, I mean, Hydra Lurker Viper can fare decently well against the carriers, but in a longer drawn out game, we need the Spire not just for Corruptors, but for upgrades. That's the biggest problem, is that you need time to actually get into good upgrades for your Corruptors to actually fight against carriers, and that just isn't the case at the moment.
Yeah, but DRG, he is looking to hit that window, diving straight on in here. The carriers are going to have to be revealed, but there is just not that much on the ground here for SKillous. The Disruptors need to get over here, but Viper's going to be focused down by the carriers first of all.
Oh yeah, exactly. The carriers are revealed. There's only 3 there's only 3 Hydras, and they're being focused down. It looks like the base is going to fall alongside 19 probes, so a good amount of damage is being done, but DRG cannot kill SKillous.
Yeah, base is going to go down. Now that the base has been taken out, the siege units can get out of there with the quickness.
You're an animal. Here come the Vipers. We're looking for the yoink, and we do manage to get 1 or 2 carriers. The Hydras have arrived to reinforce. It looks like they're going to be able to get 1. They're going to barely get both of them. Up, up, up.
Oh, just getting saved there by the Disruptors, but SKillous really not being able to get what he wants in this game at all. He just wants a bit of momentum, a bit of room to breathe, but DRG is not affording him the opportunity.
He just wants to survive, Papi. And yeah, upon losing that center base, he does not have the best economy to really sustain himself. He has enough to max out, yes, but he still needs some time here to himself to build up that disruptor count to look for a better fight. Meanwhile, DRG, interestingly enough, he's still committed to this Hydra Lurker Viper composition. He still hasn't thrown down a Spire. It's a bold move, very bold move here from DRG, but he's committed to it.
Yeah, that's right. Massive attack here from the Lurkers. I suppose they don't really have that much longevity in the game. The more carriers do come out, the more trouble he's going to be in. But massive disruptor shot. SKillous was well prepared for this, and he is going to be decimating the army of DRG.
This is devastating right now. Massive connections. The Lurkers go down, and very quickly, DRG, he may be recognizing that, you know what, this army composition may not be ideal. A Viper goes down as well, and SKillous, he's just decimating the army.
And this is where it starts to get really scary when these carriers are marching across the map. DRG would desperately like a little bit more time to prepare for this, but SKillous, he knows his timing is here, and he is going to be marching straight down the center.
Yeah, without those Lurkers, it's going to be so difficult to protect these Hydras against the Disruptors, against the Archons as well. But the Archons, they do stray a little bit too far forward. Big connections are coming in. They do shave off some of those Hydras, but that Hydra count is looking quite high. But there it is, GG. DRG, he taps out.
Yeah, he sees that warp in the main. He knows he cannot deal with that. GG is called. SKillous doing it for Team Liquid, and suddenly they are ahead in this match.
Gee, that was an intense game.
Oh, yeah.
That was intense. That was back and forth. There were workers going down on both sides. As we saw when the carriers revealed themselves, DRG made a choice, and there's a reason why I said that he's more mid-game oriented. He did not. He had the option if he wanted to throw down the Spire as soon as he saw the carriers. He chose not to. He didn't want to go for that kind of split map, slow the game down. No, he wanted to be active. He wanted to end the game with his Hydra Lurker Viper army. One bad fight, sometimes all it takes.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, as much as I was joking about Protoss having to survive, that was kind of disgusting. That was just like all the Protoss bullshit in one game.
It's look, the power spike of Skytels can be insane at times. But that was really good play out of SKillous, you know, like the mass counterattacks, the run bys, there were zealots all over the map. Impressive stuff.
I experienced your life today. Like, I was playing ZVP and the game was won, and then oh no, carriers, I'm dead. It's over.
I think I saw some of those games. You won some of those games, though. To be fair,
No, I won
I
it,
remember.
but I did. Yeah. That's your move. You go, it's over. I'm dead.
Yeah. Your heart sinks, Papi. Right? It's when as soon as you see the
Oh,
carrier like float over the horizon, you're like, oh, they can still win. Like that's.
The last game, it was the same. I was doing a live VIP. I was so far ahead. And then I saw like mass Colossus in the middle of the map, and I was like, it's over. And then immediately crushed the fight. I was like, I'm dead. Oh no, I'm dead.
And here he is in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales for Team ABYDOS, the South Korean Zerg player. He needs your help, your support to tie the series. It is DRG.
And looking to get Team Liquid the head up in this last couple games of the match. This is the Protoss SKillous.
We go in SKillous. He just needs one more game, one more win here to really just set himself up to be in such a good position to force the revive out of Team ABYDOS. DRG, the pressure is now on him.
So the one thing that was missing in that like last game is DTs.
True.
We saw the full suite except DTs.
Oh,
So
no.
I think we need to see DTs now for a bingo.
I mean, DT openers, they're making a bit of a comeback. They're not as rare as they once were, so that wouldn't be a bad choice here for SKillous. I don't know if he needs to spice it up that way. I don't but
Yeah.
definitely an option.
Might be a little bit dangerous on a small map like this, but
Yeah.
It is possible. I mean, SKillous has shown that he can mix things up in a really strange way. He kind of goes from the most standard play possible to something that you've never seen in your life quite often. So yeah, always interesting to see what he has prepared.
Oh yeah, it is interesting to see, and we'll keep an eye on the skills. We'll keep an eye on the kind of tech path he wants to go for, the kind of build he wants to go for. Of course, we've already seen his standard play going Stargate into that +1, into Forge, into the Twilight Council, but you can mix it up. You can go for Glaive Adepts. You can even rush into Sky Toss. Not unheard of.
It certainly isn't. It's allowed. It shouldn't be, but it is.
Should I stop bringing it up? Am I triggering
some? It's fine. It's funny.
Okay.
But I have been seeing lately a lot of that. The 2 starport carrier rush.
Yeah,
it's pretty filthy.
Yeah. It's terrifying, Bobby. It's terrifying. I'm glad you understand my pain a little bit, though. I'm glad we can connect on a deeper level now. You've experienced the Zerg.
Yeah, I have. I've experienced quite a lot of different things, but I still can't bring myself to experience unhygienic Protoss.
You'll get there, I'm sure. You'll get there. For now, we are just getting into our openers hatch gas pool here from DRG. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. No additional gases, no fast layer. Everything looking pretty normal for the time being, but we have seen DRG mix things up himself, especially on some of these smaller maps like Babylon, for example. He's willing to go for these big Ling Roach Lins, as SKillous is going for that Void Ray first once again.
Yeah, Void Ray again. Wonder if he's going to be mixing things up with an Adept build this time. That's usually what we see paired with standard play when we're going, when we're hiding our builds with the Void Ray, but I think you could go for the same kind of play again anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Can go for the same build, can hide a tech. We'll see what he goes for once the Void Ray does come out. He's going to be looking to hunt down those Overlords to keep DRG in the dark, to keep him guessing as to what SKillous throws down next.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like SKillous is setting up to go for a pretty standardly timed early 3rd base here, so that is going to be the case here, and that Void Ray is just going to be hunting down any of these Overlords. Looks like DRG did make a little bit of an adjustment, doesn't have too many out on the map, but he's going to get the Scout anyway, which is a bit rough here for SKillous.
Yeah, a little bit rough there as the Overlord does bypass the Void Ray. It's going to slip into the main base and get confirmation of any kind of earlier tech that was thrown down, if any. We can see the Twilight Council on the way, and there's that Forge as well.
Just imagining Tank Commander DRG and this Overlord just kind of bobbing around, going through the base, seeing what he sees.
Interesting move out of SKillous as well. I think he intentionally threw down the Twilight Council and Forge at the forward pylon just to keep it out of range of the Overlord, just to keep DRG guessing.
Yeah, just to put the fear in him. I mean, you gotta keep him on their toes, these Zergs.
He's afraid. Always afraid, Bobby. Always afraid. We are mixing it up. Not charged this time.
Yeah, okay, back into the more standard Blink build. We do see SKillous kind of dipping around with this Oracle, trying to see where DRG is going to be throwing down his 4th.
Oh, yeah, he is looking for said 4th base. Blink and +1 are on the way here for SKillous, and we can also kind of take in a couple of different directions. From here, we can still go into, say, double robo production into Colossus, for example, or we can go hyper aggressive here, 8 to 10 gateways off of 3 bases, and just be really assertive in the face of your opponent.
3 bays, that's hard to keep track of.
Oh no.
Did you have DRG poking around?
Go for it.
What? Tell me about 3 bays.
3 bases is what I meant to say. 3 bases, not 3 bays. God damn it. He's hiding the stalkers. Oh my god.
He is, yeah. Being very sneaky. SKillous is a sneaky Protoss.
As speaking of being sneaky, DRG, you spoke about it at the start of the series, if you recall. He is going for pretty cheeky Spire.
Yeah, the Council of Overlords has assembled to observe the Spire and make sure that it is, building properly. It's very important to DRG, so he assigned all his best overseers on it. Oh, they're even pooping on it.
Oh, they're showering it.
Grow. The fertilizer.
should that be a thing? Should Zerg have their own version of
Chrono Boost?
Yeah, Chrono Boost, where you just poop Overlord creep on a building?
I do actually like that.
As the Stalkers do move out across the map, do wedge themselves behind this hatchery, and we really don't have too many links here. DRG cutting some corners, may end up losing that hatchery.
Yeah, cool play from SKillous, going for a very crisp timing, hitting just very slightly before DRG was expecting and before these roaches were made, and he's going to be taking down the fourth. That's a great pickoff.
Yeah, we were kind of joking about it earlier, but SKillous was intentionally hiding his Stalker count. He was building it up over time, spending his warp-ins, and he was, for this very reason, just catching DRG off guard, unprepared, without an army, and sniping a base.
Okay, base going to be going down behind this. He is. Ooh, I think he's gotten a bit of a misread on the tech. He's going for double robo, and that's not going to line up very well with Mutas.
Again, the Spire has not been scattered. Mutas are on the way before they can come out. SKillous is applying a lot of pressure, but now we do have plenty of Ling Roach on the ground. DRG, he's holding on, and all he has to do is defend while his Mutas go for that counterattack.
Okay, DRG just trying to push this back as well, but SKillous stands his ground, gets a lot of damage done with these Oracles, and he is looking to trade out as best as he can. And he is trading out extremely well with the Ling Roach of DRG.
Oof. Yeah, very efficient fight from SKillous. He's pushing on through. At the same time, the Mutas are about to reveal themselves. They're heading out across the map. They're looking to dive into the main base, and we do not have a lot back at home to defend. No cannons, no shield batteries.
Yeah, those Mutas go straight in, and this is the last thing SKillous was expecting. We are going to get a recall on these Stalkers, but DRG, he is running away from those, and 14 probes going down already. We talked about it before. He is the Muta man. He is magical with this unit, and he's getting so much damage done right now.
Yeah, this is almost, this is critical damage already. 23 probes going down. The Mutas, some of them are getting picked off, but the majority of them will survive. We can see SKillous transitioning into more Stalker-heavy composition. We have Phoenixes on the way as well, but the damage has been done.
Yeah, indeed. It has been done. SKillous is looking to maybe sneak out a little bit of a drop here. This can be a really nice play against Mutas if you can, force them to come back home to deal with the drop.
Yeah, exactly. But again, DRG, he's kind of done with the Mutas, and they cash the Prism as well. The War Prism goes down, and DRG is focusing on his ground army. More Lings on the way, Roach as well, Baneling Nest on the way, and SKillous, even if he's forced into a counterattack, there's going to be an army waiting for him.
Yeah, DRG is reading this counterattack wonderfully. We did see I believe it was Tudbin getting into a little bit of trouble, forcing a counterattack and then continuing to make Mutas, but DRG not going to be making the same mistake. Oh, but these could be huge!
Oh my god, one massive connection. Is one enough though, as we do see a lot of Stalkers going down. Big stasis trap on these Roaches. SKillous trading as efficiently as he can.
Yeah, everything going right for SKillous, but he just does not have enough to deal with the army of DRG.
It's still a numbers game at the end of the day. A Disruptor goes down. Another wave of reinforcements come in. You can see SKillous kind of closing up the supply a little bit here, closing that gap, but he still has a lot to really recover as he's still trying to be active. DRG actually reinvesting in those Mutas.
Yeah, there we go. So back into the Mutas, just kind of playing that tech switch bingo. I think that's going to be really smart as well, as SKillous is desperately trying to get out Disruptors.
Yeah, more Disruptors are on the way. I'm sure he believes that we are done with the Muta aggression, with the Muta harass, but alas, it is only just beginning. I believe he also stopped Phoenix production as well. I'm not too sure if he has any remaining, but this Remax on Mutas, or this Muta flock that is being rebuilt, could do a lot more damage.
Alrighty, it's going to be a little bit of a scary moment here for DRG. He has to make sure that he keeps his ground army alive, but he is doing a great job being on both sides of the map, pushing back this multi-pronged pressure of SKillous. SKillous at least going to be spotting out the Mutas this time, does get a nice blink, but once again, no cannon and no battery over here at the natural, and these probes are in big trouble.
They are in trouble, but so far, decent defense here by SKillous, but maybe I spoke too soon, as probes are finally going down. The Stalker count not quite high enough to really contend against these Mutas. 5 probes full in total. We can get a 6 towards the end, and this is just keeping SKillous busy while DRG remaxes on Ling, Bane, Roach.
Yeah, that's right. This just kind of removes the potential for any comeback mechanics from SKillous. DRG, ensuring that the momentum is firmly on his side.
Yeah, exactly. He has now maxed out 200 supply, looking to lay siege upon that 4th base. SKillous does have a couple of Disruptors. With good Novas, he can maybe defend it.
Oh, Bane Speed kicks in at just the right time, but this Nova's going to get some fantastic connections regardless. I don't think DRG has quite enough here.
Especially with those Purification Novas, a lot of the Banelings do go down without connecting on too much. The Mutas coming from behind. Cannons and shield batteries are holding on. The Blink Stalkers, they're also pushing back the Roaches.
The Roaches are getting pushed back. These Mutas are in a bit of trouble as well. Can SKillous do the impossible and make a comeback from a game where he was looking like everything was going wrong for him?
Exactly, the Mutas completely blindsided him earlier. 15 more probes go down, but the main army of SKillous is looking strong. The Purification Novas were good enough, and now he's once again here across the map, once again pushing in towards that fourth.
Yeah, SKillous moving in with confidence, and he has those disruptors to back him up. He is going to back off for a moment, just buy himself a little bit more time just to deal with the high link count. We do see that he has some High Templars on the way for those Archons, and that'll be really useful against the massive link that DRG is going for here.
That's the thing, right? We don't really have a lot of splash damage to work with as the Protoss. We have a couple of disruptors shown they're good against the Roaches, but against the Lings, there are no Colossi, there are no Storms. He has to rely on those Archons.
Big Baneling more from both sides coming in from DRG. He is looking to make really good use of that +2 timing with the Banelings, where they'll be able to decimate those probes. And SKillous is going to have to be really on point with his reactions to avoid damage here.
Yeah, even with good reactions, can he avoid these losses? Here we go. The Banelings are rolling on into the mineral line. A bit of a late reaction. Probes are going to be going down. Likewise, we have more Banelings at the third base of SKillous.
Yeah, just like that. 20 probes going down. We have a DRG. He was poking through the center a little bit, but he has the damage that he needs, so he can just sit back, try to defend the counterattack of SKillous now.
Exactly, 21 workers going down. The economy has been crippled. As you were saying, DRG just has to defend against that counterattack. Banelings, they keep on rolling in, getting even more probes across that probes that SKillous cannot afford to lose. He still has a pretty intense army, though. He has a pretty comparable army supply to his opponent.
Yeah, DRG setting up another Baneling run-by here. A good thing run-by on this base is going to be able to get those cannons eventually. There's not really a battery to deal with them, but all these Banelings, you got to be so careful. Can't be losing those to the Novas. Good dodge.
Yeah, decent dodge.
Oh, no.
Novas were looking
no.
good. Another Nova goes off and will connect with the
no.
Roaches.
Oh, DRG is in some real trouble now.
Yeah, exactly. Just too many Novas to the face. We have reinforcements coming in, and it looks like DRG, he has reinforcements on the way, but he's losing his main army.
Oh, another disruptor hits big. These Lings, they could save the day, but we still have an Archon. We have a second Archon as well. It is not going down. The Queens will finish it off, but there is nothing left here for DRG.
Yeah, there is nothing left. The Oracle's even supporting from the skies as well. It looks like SKillous, he barely has enough. He has another warp in coming in as well, and he is just barely pushing through. DRG just has to hold, but that's going to be a tough ask against his army.
Yeah. That being said, though, the Lings are coming in. The Archon is going to be going down. It looks like he is barely doing enough to push this back. GG is called. DRG just holds on against the counterattack.
Oh my god. DRG with his Ling reinforcements. He comes in, he cleans it up, and DRG fights back, tying it up 1-1. And with that, we've had 1-1s across the board. Every single best of 2 so far has been going just to the edge, to that finale, and now we need to revive. We need to bring someone back.
Yeah, that's right. And DRG, it looks like that was a pretty stressful game for him. I think we gotta let him rest. Let the old man rest.
Are we getting the TVT? Are we getting the ace versus ace?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like ace versus ace makes the most sense, but at the same time, I don't think Clem has a very good record against Cure.
You're not wrong. I think for a long time we have seen Clem struggle against a lot of these Korean Terran players. In recent times, he did, look decently well, especially in Gamers 8. But for the most part, I don't know if I would gamble on Clem versus Cure. And this is where the mind games come in. This is where the strategy comes in, because both teams can try to prepare for that and snipe for that scenario, right? It's like, is Elazer confident? If they believe that Cure is being sent out, do we send out Elazer again, for example?
Yeah, true. I guess depending on the map, that might be a good move.
Yeah, exactly. Quickly checking here. Do we know the starting map? It is going to be Altitude. Altitude is the starting map.
Okay, yeah, actually, I think that changes things.
Yeah. is Elazer the right call? If game 1 is on altitude and if they only care about taking him down, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad call.
Yeah, actually, I think that's got to play into the mind of ABYDOS as well. Like maybe they said creator because of that.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing. So for those wondering, because we are 1-1 across the board, both teams will be reviving one of their downed players, whether it's Cure, Elazer, Creator, DRG, SKillous. Someone is coming back. They can only be brought back once though. We can end up in a super ace match. We can talk about that later.
I'm calling it.
Okay, cool.
Creator versus Elazer.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna say Cure versus Elazer.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that they're going to assume that Elazer's coming out, but I'm gonna say that Cure wants redemption. I'm gonna say that he wants to redeem himself for losing earlier, and he's gonna step up anyway.
Do you have Team Liquid? They look deep in thought. I don't know who. Doesn't really look like anyone's stepping up.
I don't know. Look, Elazer, he's smiling a little bit there. You know, like he's maybe he's throwing his hat in. If you're in the chats, give us your predictions. Give us your predictions. Who do you think is going to be coming up for both teams, for ABYDOS and for Team Liquid? Oh,
I don't know.
Aye. So, is your pick like your head or your heart? Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see, ideally?
I want to see Clem, but I think we'll see Elazer.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I think a lot of people, they want that TVT. I can see people asking for Clem and Cure in the chat as well. Makes a lot of sense. But again, like, are we gonna have the anti-snipes coming in? You know, because if I do agree, if ABYDOS believe that Elazer is being sent out, it would make sense to send out Cure. Creator. I do think that Creator has some really solid PVZ specifically on altitude. He plays like a very Showtime style, very defensive, very turtly to get into this death ball of an army. It can be really scary to deal with.
Yeah, I do think turtle play is pretty nasty to deal with altitude, especially from Protoss, just because coming up that ramp into SimCity, you're not going to be finding much damage.
Exactly. Oh boy, so I'm sure the Team Liquid boys are all just discussing these scenarios, trying to figure out the best player to send out, whether it's Cure or Creator, kind of like the best of both worlds. Who feels confident? That's another thing. Is Clem feeling confident about the previous games, about the previous performance? Oh.
I can't imagine so.
I see a lot of heads and hands, Papi. I don't know.
A lot of not like this.
They're not like this, Papi. Are they not coming to a decision? Are they conflicting opinions?
I feel like it's got to be between Clem and Elazer.
Yeah, I imagine so. Like, I don't want to knock SKillous by any means. He's a really good player, but especially against the two aces of ABYDOS, against both Creator and Cure, it may be wiser to go for either Clem or Elazer.
I guess, actually, if SKillous wanted to play Phoenix Colossus on altitude against Cure, that could be pretty good.
Okay, true. We haven't seen that yet today, but Phoenix Colossus, pretty good.
Yeah, good unit.
Good unit. See Yaku in the chat. Mana jumping in with the steel chair.
Get live VIP in there.
Oh god, I saw Istan said DRG Elazer. That'd be crazy.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. That'd be a good game.
It would be a really good series. Elazer not looking too bad in his TVZ recently.
Yeah, actually, if you're gonna play TVZ on that map, you probably want to play Mac.
Yeah. Elazer is more than willing. I mean, so is Clem, to be fair, but.
Oh, Nightmare's not even there.
This the wardrobe. Let's
Chest
go.
dream. Oh, Cure, what are you doing? You're crazy.
We have Cure, we have Creator, we have Nightmare's Cam. I guess this confirms that DRG is probably not going to be stepping in. It looks like maybe he's stepped away for now. But a shout out to Nightmare's wardrobe, and here it is.
Ooh, okay. Mr. Cure.
We have a piece of the puzzle. Cure, the ace player for ABYDOS, is gonna be stepping out. He's gonna be getting a moment to get some. Oh, let's go!
Okay, this is gonna be interesting. I did not expect this.
The TVT is happening. The ace versus ace. Clem versus Cure.
That is crazy. They are putting everything on the TVT. Maybe they feel that Clem, after taking out Maru in Gamers 8, might have what it takes to take down Cure as well.
Yeah, I was alluding to that earlier, but at Gamers 8, Clem did bring down Maru, clearly showing that he has broken the curse of the TVT against the Korean Terrans. He's done it before. Can he do it again? Can he bring down Cure?
Yeah, both players have pretty high win rates in this competition here, and yeah, it's all going to come down to this. If they can trade out, we will have that super ace match, but if either player can 2-0, they will be booting the other team out of the competition and continuing on.
Yeah, exactly. They want the 2-0. For context, for people that may be wondering, what is a super ace match? If this series is a 1-1 between these two players, then we get another revive. One more revive for a best of one. But in the super ace match, you cannot revive a previously revived player, so you cannot bring back either Cure or Clem.
Yeah, we get Ava playing Terran while being shot with a water pistol.
ABYDOS
Good animal.
versus Team Liquid Game 4， 就让比赛开始吧。
Let's go. The revive match is upon us. ABYDOS versus Team Liquid. We've had 1-1s all across the board so far. Is that going to continue to be the trend, or do we break that trend?
That's right, as here we go, spawning here in the top right-hand corner of the map. It is our Terran in the blue, playing for ABYDOS. He's been the ace for so long for this team. Can he do it for them where it matters most? This is Cure.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have the ace player for Team Liquid. We have the French Terran player, Clem.
All right, TVT, take it away, Light. Take it away.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. A matchup that in the past was known to be more of a snooze fest, but in recent times, dynamic, action-packed, action all over the map, always. Isn't that right, Asher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cure going to be going for an earlier gas here to that of Clem. Looks like both players going to be going for a fast expand here, which makes sense on such a giant map. But Cure going for the gas first, this is usually going to lead into a Hellion opening. So we often see 6 or 8 Hellions with a Raven or even a Marauder Rush. It does open you up to a bit more flexibility defensively.
Yeah, pretty interesting choice here for Altitude, but as you mentioned, because that gas first opener from Cure is going to be more aggressive in nature. And we'll see if Clem can get a read on this as he is sending his first SCV across the map for a bit of a scout.
Yeah, it's kind of another thing that plays into this. Cure doesn't really have the money to scout because he goes for a gas first, so this is a risky build from him. He would have been in a lot of trouble if it was a Proxy Reaper, but I guess he does make the read that Clem doesn't really play a Proxy Reaper, so I think this is fair.
Yeah, fair kind of risk that was taken here, not punished by any means. Behind this, Cure is going for a CC, but the CC is being thrown down in the main base on the high ground, is keeping it hidden from Clem.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think Clem got the full scout of the base, so he doesn't know exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, he was denied entry into the main. He was denied from getting past that depot wall. So yeah, Cure just kind of working with that, using it to his favor. We have that factory on the way. We have the faster add-on as well. And Clem is just chilling out back at home, waiting to receive any kind of unit rocking up.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to get the bunker there. Both players kind of in the dark of what's going on with the other players. Clem actually playing this out very safely. We don't often see people going for 3 Marines here, but that's kind of the safest way you can possibly do this. So showing a lot of respect to Cure here.
Exactly. And I don't blame him. I mean, again, the pressure is on. We are here in the revive match. It all comes, a lot of it does come down to this. So Clem just want to make sure he is safe and secure.
Ghost Apple going to be going down a little bit later. Very, very safe build coming out from him.
Yeah, definitely. With that, we see Cure going for a slightly faster starport. The Hellions are on the way as well. Trying to push up into this space is going to be a little bit difficult just because of how safe Clem is, right, with that bunker, with those additional Marines. As we do see that add-on swap, and we should be headed towards a Raven opener here. We have seen a lot of the Korean Terrans kind of mess around with Banshees, but Cure not going for that.
Yeah, this Hellion Raven opening off the gas is pretty common. Players like Beyond and Bunny actually like this a lot. So I've seen it quite a lot out of those two in particular. Basically just means that you're going to have map control. It's very safe defensively despite being a fast expand. So it's kind of this middle ground where it's not quite as economic as Clem's build, but it's a little bit safer than Clem's build.
Right, and yeah, with that, Cure is just setting himself up back at home. We do see likewise Clem not too far behind with his own Raven production, getting into his tanks as well. No one is going for any kind of crazy faster stim timing or something like that. Things are looking relatively normal.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow burn, this one.
And to be fair, like, I feel like that's kind of what you want to go for in a map like Altitude. I don't know if it's wise to be hyper aggressive on this map. We have seen even Cure earlier today kind of punished for that, where it can lead to really awkward scenarios if you miss your opponents and if you're out across the map. Things can get really, really chaotic.
Cure making a fantastic read on the situation, though. Going to be throwing down his third on location, despite not really seeing exactly what's going on. He's recognized that with no aggression coming his way, that Clem most likely has gone for a more passive opener like this, so he is going to be able to get a small lead that way.
Yeah, there we go. We do see Clem not too far behind with his own third base, but the difference is that the third base is in the main base for Clem, not on location, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to really get it up and running. It is even going to be scouted by that scan.
Scan goes down, sees the situation. Cure are going to be very safe. We do have, these Hellions just scouring the map, making sure that there is no scout here for Clem.
Yeah, the Hellions, they do catch that Reaper. Again, the Hellions do reveal themselves, of course, and Clem doesn't get eyes on the third base after that Reaper goes down. Cure is looking to be active, just looking to take control of the Zelnaga towers, make sure that there's nothing out on the map for Clem.
Yeah, we do have that mech check scan from Clem. Sees the Raxes, he can breathe a sigh of relief there.
Let's go. I've also heard you've been getting very personal, and you've been introduced to mech in TVZ as well. As we do see Cure just pushing on forward here, looking to dive on top of that tank.
Ooh, lovely disable on the Raven. Snipes that down before it can get any of its spells off here, and just dancing it back and forth, these Hellions, making it very difficult for the Marines to engage. Cure, doing a fantastic job setting up this push, and it is so important for Clem to hold this base down now.
Yeah, it really is. He's going to be bleeding out units left and right. The Raven went down the tank. A couple of Marines. We do see the tanks of Cure are within range of that CC, so Clem is going to be forced to push in.
Yeah, but there we go. Cure doesn't want to overstay, realizes that he doesn't have the air control. Going to be backing off here, at least for a moment, but this is such a tense situation. This is such a crazy matchup to have such an important game in, where both of these players, they are really trying to do it for their team.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see Cure outposition his opponent a little bit, look for a couple of free kills here. Does get a couple of those Marines, is pulling the attention of Clem over towards the right-hand side. At the same time, we have the main force of Cure pushing in towards the left.
Yeah, beautiful positioning from Cure. He realizes that Clem is out of position on this left-hand side. I don't know if Clem does have vision. Okay, he does have one Marine here to spot, but is he going to be able to get back in time? Well, it looks like he won't, so he's going to have to give up this base.
Yeah, exactly. Cure getting here just in time. The SCVs have to be pulled away. Once again, that base is under threat. Here come those disables on the Vikings.
Good disables on the Vikings. Cure's going to be winning the army, winning the fight, in the skies, and he is just doing a brilliant job putting the pressure on Clem. But Clem, he's fighting back. He is going to be pushing back the Vikings of Cure. Cure has to be careful. He doesn't want to overstay. This would be such a difficult way to throw the game now, and the disables go down on both sides.
Yeah, but it looks like with the defender's advantage, Clem, he has too much. He collapses on these tanks. He cleans them up one after the other.
Yeah, that is massive for Clem. Cure using his fantastic multitask to take out some units on the right-hand side. This is such a high-pressure game for both players, but they are dead even in workers.
Yeah, are even in that worker count. Despite Cure getting his own third CC a little bit faster, Clem was able to squeeze out a couple more SCVs. Despite the aggression of his opponent, he has been able to keep up.
Yeah, barely anything separating these two players. They are neck and neck on the builds. They have not been able to eke out an advantage either way.
And now things are going to be settling down a little bit as both players can get their third bases up and running. It looks like Cure may even be headed towards that fourth base location for his own CC as well, as we're just getting into our upgrades. And there it is, fourth is on location for Cure.
Yeah, Cure feeling the momentum in this game, sensing that he is the one that's going to be pressing the issue, the one that's going to be on the front foot. But Clem, he has had enough of this. He realizes that he is a little bit up in tank count and he wants to make that worth it. Things are going to get real crazy here because neither player has any idea what is coming their way.
Boy, here we go. The double jump headed towards the main base of Clem. At the same time, the main army pushing towards that third as well. We can see the tanks not quite in position for Cure.
Yeah, Cure is going to be denied from mining this there, but what is in position here for Clem to deal with this double drop? Looks like he is going to be spotting it out. Very quick SCV pull. He's paying attention for sure here.
Yeah, Clem is looking, and he's able to deflect that double drop. At the same time, I can't say the same for Cure because we have a drop in his own main base's army, not quite where it needs to be, and SCVs are going down.
Yeah, chaos in the main on both sides. Clem is going to be diving on top of this army, trying to pick off that tank. He does snipe down one of these tanks, gets out with most of these units as well, takes out the entire SCV line of Cure, and Cure, he is in massive trouble now.
He really is. He's down to 2 mining bases. His fourth is not yet up and running. He still has that double drop in the main base of his opponent, still looking to try to reciprocate that damage, but we have plenty of reinforcements back at home for Clem.
Yeah, Clem has to be really careful here. Both players, to be fair, have to be really careful. But now he's going to be able to cut off Cure from defending his own fourth.
Yeah, at the same time, it looks like a third medevac drop has made its way across the map, and we have more SCVs going down in the natural base here of Clem. Cure is doing a good amount of counter damage here. Clem not able to mine quite at all.
Yeah, Clem being a little bit indecisive. Looks like he's going to come back home to clean this up. And Cure doing a fantastic job keeping this counter threat alive.
Yeah, exactly, as Cure is just giving a little bit of breathing room here, trying to get that fourth base up and running. The double drop should eventually be cleaned up, but once again, really good trades here out of Cure, but the tanks have arrived. The drop is lifted.
Looks like Cure was able to take out one of Clem's eBays as well, so he's not going to be able to start up +2 armor just yet. Massive counter attack coming out from Cure as well. He is looking to get this drop down. There is a depot that might be able to spot him, but yeah, Clem, he knows about the fourth now. He can get these tanks into position. The Vikings are going to be able to spot on the south side as well, so this base is going down.
Yeah, likewise, so is the base, the third base of Clem as well, so both players are hurting. We can see Cure coming in from behind, trying to push up this ramp into tanks.
He wants to take the fight, and he is going to be able to get a pretty decent fight. These Marines just about cleaning up the last of it, so this army of Clem doesn't quite have punch to it anymore. He's not going to be able to take out this fourth, I don't think, and he recognizes that as well. He is picking up and getting on out of there. Absolute mayhem on both sides here, but is Clem going to be able to deal with the aggression of Cure?
As Clem is turning back around again, he's in position for that doom drop as well. Does deflect the army. Clem is getting his third base back up and running. So is Cure. The economies are still pretty similar between the two players, but Clem still has a higher tank count. He has a larger army.
Oh, Clem dancing with danger there. Those 2 orange health medevacs containing tanks. If he had lost those, that would have been a big swing into Cure's favor, but Cure trying to make a little bit more damage happen. Looks like it's not quite going to work out. Actually, the tank of Clem going to take out more SCVs than Cure's drop does.
A little bit of friendly fire going on there, but here we go. Clem is pushing out across the map. Even though Cure has done a great job of just harassing and keeping Clem busy, the reality is that the tank count, the main army, the main force of Clem is still looking terrifying compared to Cure, and he's finally pushing out across the map.
Yeah, Clem has a more solid army here. He does have to be really careful with this double medevac drop. Doesn't want to be sending that through that cloud of Marines, and yeah, it looks like he is just going to stay close to that sensor tower.
Yeah, he's actually pulling back. He's aware that there are, of course, Marine drops out on the map, but it looks like Clem wants to try to deflect those pushes before he really commits to anything. We do see Cure getting ready for some multi-pronged harassment. He's got 2 forces, one on the left, one on the right.
Yeah, very intelligent play from Clem. He realizes that he is up a base. There's no reason to be giving Cure these openings to make the game close with these counterattacks.
Exactly, and with the upgrade advantage as well, we do see Clem taking the Marine fight. He takes down every single Marine as well as the medevacs.
Yeah, just 15 seconds before the +2 of Cure finishes up, he manages to find the fight, and now these tanks are bearing down on this fourth, and Cure is not in position. He misses the move out of Clem, so Clem should be able to commit to this, should be able to go deny that fourth, and Cure is going to be starving.
Yeah, at the same time, Cure is going to get a kill on the third CC, so both players going to be losing a base potentially as Cure is getting ready in position.
Oh, this is a pretty wild fight to be taken from Clem. He doesn't really have the Marine count to be doing this, but the tanks absolutely decimate the Marines. Marine parts flying everywhere on this map.
The tank volleys were insane. Good target firing out of Clem, but the Marines are coming from behind. We get a full surround.
Yeah, massive surround coming out from Cure. He's been so active with so many different groups of Marines on this map, and it's finally going to be paying off for him. This is where things start to get very, very stressful if you are Clem, because now you don't have that tank lead anymore.
Yeah, the advantage that Clem once had is no longer there. Cure is actually up on bases. He's on 4 CCs. Clem is not, and now he has to try to recover. He's actually, I believe, picking up and landing his main base.
Yeah, total role reversal from these two players. Cure now both ahead on tanks and on economy is going to be forcing the issue. Even has the extra Viking, so I think Clem's going to have to play like Cure a little bit and go for these counterattacks, but Cure is looking like he is in a fantastic position. Somehow he has found his way back into this game.
Yeah, Clem is having a hard time finding the room to actually go for any of that drop play. We see Cure just rotating around, looking for a better angle of attack. It looks like Clem has missed the army.
Yeah, Clem can't engage this anymore. Those tanks are in position. He's just going to have to go for the counterattack.
Yeah, he's going across the map instead. His planetary is under threat. The Marines are diving on forward once again, and Cure setting up a surround.
Incredible engage from Cure. He's been so active on the map here, and he has just been outplaying Cure from every angle. Clem's going to be able to clear up these tanks finally. It's just chaos throughout the center of the map. It is so close between these two players, so scrappy.
Yeah, both players losing all of their tanks back and forth. No one can ever retain a good tank count, but Clem is looking to reestablish that third base. Oh my god, but Cure still has that economic lead.
Yeah, sour face from Clem because he is not mining right now, and he knows that he has to make something happen right now, but Cure has enough to hold on.
Exactly. Again, the map is just too large. It takes too long to counterattack. Clem is forced to stay at home, and Cure takes that economic lead. Clem does start up his 3-3, though, and that, if the game goes on long enough, that could be quite impactful here in the Marine battles. Until then, though, Cure has map control.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if Clem's going to be able to hold on to his position here. He just doesn't quite have the tank count. He is getting a few tanks over near his bases. His Marines are going to be sharking around, trying to defend this aggression coming out from Cure, but Cure is just playing this wonderfully. This is such a great TBT.
Yeah, and Cure, he takes the 5th base with his own main as well, just keeping the momentum going in his favor, taking base after base. As he takes that 5th, we do see Clem with eyes on it as he does sim on forward here. He does manage to get some Marines across the map.
Yeah, Clem unfortunately just misses the SEV, so I don't think he's going to be able to get this CC. Would have been perfect timing for him if he rocked up just 10 seconds earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't able to get there in time. We do see Cure with an overwhelming force. Let's take the Marine battle. The Liberators have arrived, and now he takes control of the tanks.
Yeah, these Liberators are going to be a massive problem. Really clever move from Cure now that he has that Viking lead in the skies. And Clem, he has to find a way to snipe these out with Marines.
Yeah, exactly. But as he moves forward, he takes tank shots to the face as they do cover those Liberators, and Clem is being bullied back.
Yeah, he's being pushed back. Cure going to be moving on forward with his Marines, and he snipes the orbital. Fantastic moves from Cure. So systematic with this push.
Oh my god, another base falls. That was the main, by the way, that was floated over by Clem. He's down to 2 CCs, 2 mining bases, 1.5 really. Still has a decent army. He's going to be able to pick off at least 1 tank, but the surround.
Beautiful positioning from Cure once again. Actually walks into the tank lines quite a bit, so he's going to be losing a lot of Marines here, but he has done enough damage. Clem realizes that as well. He just does not have the Marine count anymore to make any aggressive moves on the map work, and he doesn't have the economy to be waiting. GG is called.
GG, well played. Cure, he does a fight back. He bounces back and takes game number 1.
That was an insane comeback from Cure. Absolute masterclass of TBT.
Yeah, for a good minute there, we saw Clem with the lead. We saw him with the control, with the map control, with the higher base count, the higher tank count. And then suddenly everything took a turn for the worst when we saw those drops converge in the center of the map and take down the main army of Clem. That was almost the game-winning move then and there for Cure. That was when things suddenly swung in his favor.
Yeah, that was some crazy stuff coming out there from Cure, and Cure now is really putting the pressure on Clem. Clem has to win this next game, and man, the stress has got to be so high for Clem. He knows how far ahead he was in that game, and to lose, to get outplayed in such a fashion by Cure, that's really got to take a toll on your mental.
Yeah, exactly. As you were saying, it wasn't just a loss. It was a loss when you had a lead, right? When you had just a commanding position in that game, and for that to slip through your fingers can take a toll to your mental state. Hopefully, Clem is able to take a breath. Hopefully, he's able to recover a little bit here as he gets ready for the next game. To put things into perspective, if Cure wins this next game, that is the end of the series, and Team ABYDOS will take it. Team Liquid, Clem needs to win this game here and now to force the Super Ace match.
Yeah, that's right. So hopefully he's not too tilted by that.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Clem needs your support in the chat to try to bring it back here, to try to force the next game. And as a reminder, it is also going to be his map pick. He can pick the staging ground.
Yeah, okay. I think it might suit him to go for a bit of a smaller map as well.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with how active he likes to be, with how fast he is. A smaller map would work to his advantage. And here we go. He has decided. He has chosen Royal Blood.
All right. So yeah, it is going to be a small map. It is going to be a scrappy map. Clem looking a little bit dejected. Not going to lie. Not great body language coming out.
Yeah, from him, he's looking a little bit down after that game. And it's understandable, but hopefully he can shake it off. Hopefully he can just, again, recover that mental, get that spring in his step, because he's going to need it up against his current opponent.
Yeah, that's right. And this is he. Up in the top right-hand corner, in the blue. This is Cure.
He is him. Is that
him? It do be him.
He do be here in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, the French Terran, a player for Team Liquid. He be Clem.
Who that boy? Who him is?
Who him is? Let's go. Look, it's been a long series. It's okay. It's okay.
Clem right now, this face, this is me after I lose one TBT on ladder. Like, my day is ruined.
Mate, it's so relatable. if you ever ladder in StarCraft, then you know how Clem feels after that game. Aye.
Oh. Okay, so this is something I've been seeing. Clem does this a lot. Clem is really big on this build in TBT at the moment. I see him do it pretty much every series. He just loves it for some reason. Cure, I don't see it doing it that much either. Okay, no, it's going to be a 3x. Yeah, this I've seen from Cure before.
Yep.
I actually have no idea. I have to think about this. I'm not really sure who actually wins this. When you play proxy 2x against proxy 3x, the proxy 2x wins. But I think if Clem works out what's happening, he should be in a better spot here because he has access to Hellions. But it's just going to come down to like who catches who out on the map. If there's a weird rally and like two Reapers catch one Reaper anywhere, it's over for whoever that happens to. And this is really weird as well. Wait,
oh my god, this is pretty weird.
Oh no, yeah. He needs to play.
Yeah, as he does end up killing one of his SCVs to free up some of that supply. Cure going for essentially one base all-in with 3 Raxes back at home. Clem has a comparable production here, but as you were saying, he has to be very careful not to lose his first Reaper.
Oh, that is devastating. Oh, and Clem hands off the keyboard. He knows that he is pretty much dead. He knows if this is 2 racks against 2 racks, there's nothing he can do to come back, but he needs to focus because if he can work out this is 3 racks, he still could be okay.
Yeah, he still can defend, still buy some time for that Hellion to come out. He's staying back at home. He's got a CC on the way on the low ground. The Reapers are on the way again. Clem, he was not able to see that 3rd Rax. He doesn't know how committed Cure is.
It's going to be 3 Reapers against 2. How quick are the reactions of Clem?
That's the question as Reapers do rock up. And once again, another Reaper goes down for Clem. He does trade 1 for 1 at least, but...
That was actually stunning micro to get that trade. That was really impressive. But now he has 3 Reapers against 3 Reapers. He does not have the health. Cure aggressively pushing on in. He senses the win here.
Oh, he does sense it. He has to be careful to overextend. The Hellion does pop out.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy micro battle between these two players. Clem, he has to realize now that this is a 3-Rax Reaper, and that's going to give him a little bit more hope. If he can micro this perfectly with the Hellion, he can make some magic happen, but Cure is being very careful with how he spreads his Reapers.
Yeah, he needs that splash damage. He needs that AoE damage from the Hellion shots. With that, he can definitely hold on.
Yeah, some beautiful micro coming out from Clem. He has to be careful, but he is going to be going for the fight here. The Hellions jump on top of the Reapers. Cure cannot escape, and Clem is turning it around.
He turns it around. He takes the fight. He cleans up the army. Cure is transitioning. He throws down a natural base in his main.
I have to say as well, I play this build a lot that Cure's doing, and I know not a lot of people do. I think it's trash. Like, I find it really hard to make it work, and I don't understand how Cure makes it work, but this is such a fascinating matchup between these two builds, and Clem, he is going to have enough to deal with this back at home as well, but Cure is just trying to buy some time.
He is, as he does dive in, takes down the mule. So pretty high value pickoff, but the Reapers are going to get shut down. Q just trying to get a full scout of the main, figure out what is going on. Just confirm, of course, the 1-1-1 follow-up of Clem.
And how is the mental of Clem here? Because once again, he has the lead, but he is going to have to be very careful how he plays this out. It's a stressful game state to be in as well, just knowing that there's going to be Mass Reaper out on the map.
Yeah, exactly. He has to be very careful with how he maneuvers even these Hellions that are out on the map as well. He's trying to get a read on whether or not Cure is even expanding at the moment. As his army moves out, we can see Cure is setting up for a bit of a backstab.
Yeah, Clem's trying really hard to find these Reapers out on the map. Cure doing a good job of hiding them as well. Clem just hunting around for those, but not going to be able to find it.
Yeah, he's looking for that army back at home. Tanks are on the way, Vikings as well. Clem, nothing too crazy out of him. He is going for his additional Raven, is going for his tank production, as to be expected. We may have lost signal to his camera, but it's okay. He's still playing. He's still there.
Yeah, camera does go down, but it's still there. And yeah, tank going to come into position for Cure. This can be a good surprise as well. Clem has to be very careful how he positions his units that he doesn't run into that tank here. But yeah, as you were saying, Clem completely in dark does finally get that scout. He sees that orbital getting lifted. He sees the third CC getting started. That is everything that he needed to see. So some perfect Reaper scout timing from him.
Yeah, beautiful scout there from Clem, seeing everything as you were saying. Now he can make a choice. Does he throw down his third CC on location, or does he go for one big push instead? It's just going to be repositioning some of his army. Is still just threatening outside that natural base of Cure.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be going for the push, going to be sending some of these units across the map. Cure does still have these Reapers ready to go, and there is nothing back at home for Clem, so Clem has to be very careful how he's going to do that, but he switches straight onto that massive Viking production. Only going to make the one Raven here. Does recognize that he has a window here to push. Two Ravens, actually.
He has two Ravens. He's looking for that disable. He's looking to try to push into the natural. There's only one tank on the low ground, but there's another on the high ground as well. So again, Clem has to be very careful with how he engages.
Yep, Viking in position for Cure as well. He is being careful, doesn't want to fly that into a Cyclone or anything like that. Looks like the Reaper counterattack in that picture-in-picture is going to be diving on in. Clem being forced to land a Viking to deal with that.
It's getting a lot of damage, a lot of lost mining time. 5 SCVs go down. Finally, it looks like Clem is going to be able to retake control of his natural base. He goes back to mining in his natural as he's leapfrogging forward with those tanks.
Yeah, Clem going to be pushing forward, so he does have the opportunity to take this tank out. Siege is in range. The tank is going to be going down, so Clem is making this work, and I think with that double Viking production, pushing it back the high ground vision, he should be able to get the win here against Cure, unless this counterattack with the Medivacs can get damage.
Yeah, I mean, 5 more SCVs go down across them. That's 10 in total to these Reapers. Cure doing a great job at just slowing down the economy of his opponent. That double jump that you were talking about is now moving out across the map. Cure having a hard time defending back at home. He's losing a lot of resources here as we have a third tank rocking up.
This double drop is some real trouble. Clem throws down the scan. Does he recognize here that there is army missing? Will he be able to keep some army at home to deal with this? Oh, he's not ready. That tank is not in position. This is really disastrous for Clem.
Yeah, exactly. The tank just now going for that siege, but the army stims on forward, and I believe, no, it will not be able to focus down the tank.
Yeah, it's not going to be able to. Very quick SCV pull from Clem. His reactions are just brilliant, and he is going to be progressing this push forward as well. Cure thinking about going for the SCV pull, thinks better of it, and Clem, he is doing it.
Yeah, Clem, he's just choking Cure out. Even though he invested into a third CC, he cannot make use of it. The natural base is going to be compromised, and we can see Clem even threatening to push into the main base, taking down that depot and even cleaning up all these SCVs.
Yeah, the one tank of Cure is going to be taking some shots, and the Vikings, they should be able to finish off the CC. The CC is going to be going down, so Cure, he is now completely all in. He is looking for a massive surround on these tanks. Clem has to be so careful that he doesn't unsiege these without seeing what's happening.
Yeah, he does get eyes on the surround. He's aware of how much danger he is in. And we'll see if he manages to find a way out of here, or if he tries to reinforce. And there we go. We have some Vikings moving out across the map, trying to get eyes on that army of Cure.
This is such a scary position for Clem to be in. He has to be so careful that he doesn't get tanks caught out in the middle of the map. That might be exactly what's happening here, but no, he is going to be slow sieging, trying to get rid of this bio of Cure. He does see it over on the right here, but no, Cure with a massive amount of Marines here. Does he commit the stim?
Yeah, there we go. He stims. He's diving up the ramp. He's looking to get on top of that tank. It looks like he will clean this up. Takes one tank shot to the face, but he gets the tanks.
Yeah, the tanks are going to be going down. Massive tank shot right in the center. Clem, desperately has to siege up this tank. The Vikings are so important here as well.
Oh, and the Vikings going to be focused on, but good tank shots coming out from Clem.
These Vikings are so crucial. These tank shots, they only really count if he can stop the healing, and that's what he's done now.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, this drop here from Cure can't really do too much across the map. It is being stifled. It is slowly running out of steam, and Cure is still stuck on one base.
Yeah, Cure pretty much dead now. He is gonna, make things a little bit more difficult for Clem. Even loading up a medevac with SEVs to go populate that base on the 3 o'clock. But Clem, he is playing this out the right way. He is just being careful and cautious, and not going to try to push up into that ramp until he has the disables and he knows where all the bio is.
Exactly, just waiting for those Viking reinforcements, for those Ravens to just gather up that energy and go for that disable. As you were saying, Cure only has 3 tanks here on the high ground. There is not going to be enough here to stop the army of Clem. Cure looking to set up another surround here as he's loading up once again and just trying to populate that base. Up!
Try Clem looking for the bases, recognizes a lack of bio, threatens a Viking land, which is going to cause Cure to unsiege. Cure sieging back up. I think he is just trying to make this as stressful and as annoying for Clem as possible. Maybe anticipating as well that there is still a little bit more on the line for these teams if we have that super ace match.
Yeah, and the ninja base has been spotted. Clem is now aware, and now he can start to focus attention onto that base. Meanwhile, here come the disables. The tanks are sieging.
Yeah, the tanks climb on forward, and that is the last bastion of Cure's defense taken down. That should be just about it. Cure has one last counterattack in the chamber, but I think it's been a little bit too long. Clem has been able to build up the amount of forces that he needs. That tank popping in a perfect location as well, so he is going to be able to defend this.
Yeah, he's got 2 tanks back at home. He has the high ground. He pulls the boys as well, and it looks like Clem will defend. GG gets called, and we are going to the super ace match.
GG. Clem going from absolute despair after losing his first Reaper to clutching out a win here in fantastic fashion. What high-level TVT we're getting to see.
Let's go, let's go. Again, just a roller coaster ride of emotions for Clem. I wish that we had the camera so we could maybe see him pop off as well. As you mentioned, he was kind of smudging. His heart did sink at the start of the game, but he brought it all back, and he claims that win.
Yeah, those don't feel good, honestly. When you're like that smudge by the end, you're just like, it's over. You just slam your computer, walk away.
And what is important is that with this, once again, we are tied up 1-1 here between Cure and Clem. They knock each other out. They are done for this series. And now Team ABYDOS and Team Liquid need to revive another player. They can no longer revive Cure and Clem. They've already been revived once. They can bring back one more player for a best of 1.
Okay. Yeah, this is really interesting. Maybe we do see Creator versus Elazer after all.
It could happen. Could happen. ABYDOS, they can bring back a Creator. They can bring back DRG. Nightmare wasn't fielded yet, and Nightmare is also available, so he could also be an option. Meanwhile, Team Liquid also have a decent roster to work with. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, who is it going to be? Clem? Oh, yeah, okay. You can see a lot of relief on his face.
Yeah. He's like, Papi, we did it. Oh my god. So yeah, we don't see SKillous. I don't know if he just isn't available, or maybe he just left his seat and they're gonna be waiting for him. Elazer does feel like the obvious choice. It feels like Creator and Elazer are like the number 2s of their team, and it would make sense for them to also face off, which would be wild, but we can always throw in a curveball.
Yeah, but such a stressful match there. I know Clem, just the idea, I think, of letting down his team was really stressing him out there. So, yeah, he looks very happy to have that over and done with.
I mean, he's done for the series, you know, like the stress is off completely. He doesn't have to worry about playing another game. It's on his teammates to really step it up in his stead. And I mean, they've already done so well for themselves. I think that's the most impressive thing coming into this, as we do get a close up on Creator, and that could be alluding to our next player. But coming into this series, I feel like a lot of people, myself included, were favoring ABYDOS, right? Like we saw that in the caster predictions. Everyone was betting on ABYDOS except for CranKy and the Cat. But Team Liquid, they've really done well for themselves, like fighting back so hard.
Yeah, I have faith in Team Liquid here, but this is definitely going to be a tough match. We saw Elazer shutting his shades as well because, you know, getting the room to be darker makes you stronger as a Zerg player.
Yeah, we need to get rid of that vitamin D. Okay, look, the sun, it doesn't... we need to get it out of here.
Never helped anyone.
True.
Just hurts your eyes. Get rid of it.
It does. It hurts your skin. It tans it, you know? We need to be as pale as possible coming into this. I mean, that could also be a sign that maybe Elazer is getting into gamer mode, you know? He's drawing the shades. He's making it dark.
Okay, yeah. I think we're going to be seeing Elazer versus Creator.
I think so as well. If you're in the chats, you know, give us your predictions. You know, tell us who you want to see. Who do you want to see face off? Do you want to see Elazer versus Creator? Do you want to see another SKillous versus DRG rematch? Do we want to see Nightmare? Nightmare hasn't played tonight. We've seen more of Nightmare's closet than himself. So maybe we'll see his play. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Nightmare has been, kind of away, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. We're getting some in. We're getting some Yaku, of course, cheering for Diego. Of course. Big Elazer fans. DRG versus Elazer, a ZVZ. That would be wild. That would be crazy.
No
Nightmare
shot.
versus Dream.
No shot.
Oh my god. Yeah, I
Nightmare versus Dream. Yeah, I forgot about Dream. Is Dream on one of these teams?
no.
We did see that last season, or 2 seasons ago.
We did get Nightmare versus Dream. That did happen. I miss Dream. Feels smudge, Papi, smudge. Dream
He's
and
free
Bunny.
now.
He's free.
Let him be free. Bunny's not free now. Don't talk about him like that.
And there it is. The obvious pick for the Super Ace match for one final game for a best of one on Babylon. It's going to be Creator versus Elazer.
They brought back the old graphic as well. This is the regular season graphic.
Yeah, bringing it old school. We can see the mentality, the macro, the micro, the defense. It does look like they have given Creator some extra mental points.
Yeah, they tidied his mental up. It used to be like a 5.
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, he won a few games.
Yeah,
Maybe he feels better about himself now. We'll keep an eye on him.
They do him so dirty. Oh my god. So yeah, pretty comparable players. According to their stats, they're actually rating Elazer quite highly. I would say that they're much closer than that, and maybe even give Creator an edge at times, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
he's
I feel pretty comfortable saying Creator's a favorite.
Yeah. He's a pretty big name in the scene, one of the best Protosses in all of South Korea, and he is coming out strong against Elazer.
Versus Team Liquid. ACE.
Oh my god.
就让比赛开始吧。
I see.
AC, let's go.
And coming out for the ACE, there is in the top left-hand corner of the map, the blue Protoss. He is chronoing his probes. It is Creator.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid in the Super Ace match. It is Elazer.
There we go. We know Creator's a pretty emotional player, so the stress has got to be running very high for him here. Elazer a little bit more stoic, but I think both of these players will have their hearts pounding. They know that the entire ace match, all the work that has been going through this whole season, all comes down to this one match right now.
Stress levels are peaking. The skill, the play is going to be peaking as well. It all comes down to this one ZVP on Babylon of all maps, which is going to be a really interesting one. A bit of a smaller map can lead to a lot of aggression. We have seen a lot of very aggressive Zerg play on this map, especially when you knock down those rocks in the center of the map. We've seen a lot of things like German taxis, queen pushes alongside roach all-ins, even quite common and popular amongst players like Reina and even Cyril.
Yeah, I've seen Cyril as well showing an absolute masterclass of ZVP on this map before. I can't remember exactly who it was against, but it's very strong in my mind. Him kind of just going for that mid-game Ling Bane smash with the +2 melee and just going in again and again and again, being absolutely suffocating with just non-stop waves of aggression.
Yeah, exactly. That is definitely something that we can see, but that also goes into the unique playstyle of Creator. We were alluding to it earlier when we were talking about Altitude and the potential revive match that we were kind of speculating of, and that is that Creator is typically a more defensive player. I kind of associate him a little bit with Showtime in the European scene, where they're willing to delay their Twilight Council upgrades. They're willing to go for faster robos, faster immortal production after the Stargate, of course, and get into a more solid mid-game, mid to late game. It's something that Creator, it does feel like his comfort zone. We'll see if he does it here in the ace match.
Yeah, that's right. But we are going to be getting a Stargate coming out from him. So it's not going to be Glaives or anything like that. Doesn't want to gamble on that last map of this series. And it's just going to be a little bit annoying. Does spot out that third going down for Elazer. So standard stuff coming out from both players.
Exactly, did force out those links from Elazer as well. The Adeptor arrives a little bit too late to delay the third, but here in time to just chip away at those links to get a read on things, to keep his eyes on Elazer as he does dip between the bases and, yeah, checks the saturation.
Yeah, he's going to be poking around here, and he's just going to be deflected by the Lings and Queens of Elazer. That first Oracle going to be headed across the map, so not going to be a Void Ray opening or anything like that. Just going to be going straight into this aggression, and this can sometimes be very effective against Elazer. We've seen Creator versus Elazer before, where Elazer skips a lot of the defense for Oracles, and Creator is very, very good with Adept Oracle Harass. He can get a lot of damage here.
He can. He can. This is the follow-up that I'm used to. We do have a Robo follow-up here from Creator. We should be seeing a Forge alongside this, but we'll keep an eye on that there. Oh, actually, no, going for that Twilight Council instead.
Yeah, this is a Robo with no third, so this is going to be something really aggressive. This might be a DT drop.
Yeah, exactly. As we do have the Oracle showing up across the map, a couple of drones are going to be going down. 3 workers in total, as there was no Spore, but Elazer does shoo that away. And this 2-base play from Creator, he throws down 3 more gateways behind this as well.
Okay, we were talking about it before. Elazer does have a tendency to be to cut a lot of corners against Stargate-based player. We can see he's only thrown down the 1 Spore so far, so looks like Creator might be looking to expose a hole in this play. Oh, okay, so this might be a kind of looks like it's gonna be a charge Archon all in.
Yeah, it does. I think he got the Twilight Council just for the Templar Archives. He's not actually getting charged, so
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling the slow loss, but we'll see. We'll see if he does start up that upgrade a little bit later. Overlord is being hunted down. This is such a unique build coming out from Creator.
Yeah, he recognizes that this is just a best of one map to win, so he's pulling out a crazy snipe build here.
Yeah, the all-in is upon us. We do see Elazer getting ready back. And never mind, Creator. He takes a very late third, but a third nonetheless. He is still going to be active here with Archons, I believe, but he's expanding behind it.
Okay, Elazer's preparing for this, so he has put together some amount of what's going on here.
Yeah, he is, as plenty of Lings are on the way. We have a Roach Warren in production as well for Elazer. The Archons have arrived. We have that Forge been thrown down. So, again, a really interesting opener out of Creator. It does lead into a later third base. Hopefully, he can hold on to it as the Link counterattack has arrived. But really good SimCity here with these Adepts.
Oh, and the Archon's getting on top of the Queens. Looks like Elazer was not quite ready for this. Is going to be losing those Queens. Those Lings not quite getting the damage they were looking for. A little bit wasteful coming out from Elazer here.
Yeah, exactly. He does get one of those pylons, but the Oracle arrives. The slow lots get warped in, and Creator, he holds onto his third base. At the same time, he's able to shave off a couple of those drones, and he's able to get away with those Archons.
Yeah, Creator really putting the pressure on Elazer. At least through this aggression, he should be able to get some idea of what is happening here.
I hope so. I mean, it's pretty wild. But there we go. We have more Zealots on the way. The fourth base is under threat. We may even force a cancel.
Yeah, looks like that force should be cancelled. Charge finally kicking in as well. That is being started, sorry, by Creator. These Queens are in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, they are in some trouble. Queens are getting picked off.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3 Queens go down. Oh my god.
4 Queens getting taken out. These Archons going to be able to get on out of there as well. So 4 Queens for just a few Zealots there. Creator's doing a fantastic job with this bizarre opening.
Yeah, and behind this, we're getting into Immortal production. We have Sentries, we have Charge as well. We were talking about this, like, Archon Immortal heavy composition. That's typically what Creator wants to go for. Not typically in this kind of fashion, but it's really interesting just how he's arrived in this position. And so far, so good here, just delaying the bases and sniping Queens.
Yeah, that's right. And now he moves out with the Immortals. We've seen this before. We've seen it get him into a little bit of trouble before. Is Elazer going to be able to hold on to this? He does spot it now with the Overlord, but these Ling Rumbais are not getting the damage that he wants.
Yeah, hopefully Creator doesn't commit too hard and doesn't hit an anti-timing. +1 in Charge for Creator. They're still on the horizon. They still need a little bit of time to really kick in, as Creator is going to be chipping away at that base. Meanwhile, the wall is not a wall!
Yeah, the wall is not a wall. This Immortal is in some serious trouble. There's no energy on the Oracle, so the Immortal goes down. Fantastic pick off here for Elazer.
Yeah, big mistake for Creator to not have a wall up there in time to preserve that Immortal. Boys are being pulled. Probes are going down.
Yeah, so many probes going to be going down. 5 going down right away. The Lings being preserved. Elazer just being super annoying with those spots out the charge on the Zealots as well.
Yeah, it does get confirmation. Does get a full scout of the main base. Confirms the kind of army that he's going to be facing off against. And he's going to be going for Ling Bane Roach.
What do you think the Overlord speed is for here?
Interesting. I'm hoping for some drop play. We'll see. We'll see. It's also possible that because of how quirky his opponent has been opening, he just wants to get a read on his opponent to get a bit of a follow-up scout with that Overseer. But I'm hoping for drop play.
Yeah, definitely some possibilities here. Creator going to be going into Storm off the back of this, getting his 4th Nexus as well. So despite the very strange nature of this attack, it's not all in. It's more of a pressure. And who is going to be able to pull ahead here?
Yeah, again, Creator, he's just turtling up back at home, getting his 4th, just building up that Immortal count, building up that Archon and High Templar count as well. It still has a bit of a ways to go, and it looks like Elazer has had enough breathing room to really saturate his base. He's up to 79 workers. Now he can focus on producing his army.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here, though. Roach speed has not kicked in just yet.
Exactly. Roach speed still a couple of seconds off. He doesn't want to overcommit. Likewise, there are no disruptors, if I'm not mistaken. We've just been focusing heavily here on Immortal production. And Immortals, they aren't too bad against Roaches and Ravagers, but they do need quite a lot to support them.
That's right. There we go. Storm does finish up, so that's going to help with the support. We have that Archon. We have the Storms as well. Lazer's going to have to be very careful if he is looking to hit a big Baneling timing here as well, that he doesn't run headlong into those Storms. Same with the Lings as well. But looks like he is poking and prodding, trying to find an angle to attack in on.
Yeah, exactly. He's cleaning up some of these rocks, just creating these better avenues of attack for himself. Likewise, rocks outside the third base also going to be going down. Elazer has now maxed out. Creator has been able to split up his army, but does he have enough to defend at both locations at once? Does he have enough stacked defense as well to help him hold on to that 4th and 3rd?
Yeah, here we go. There is the big Morphian of Bane's Elazer. He wants to end it right here, right now. He has to be so careful, though, that he dodges these Storms and he dodges these massive stasis traps. At least Storm has been revealed now.
Yeah, Storm was revealed. Zealot is going to force Elazer to back off for a moment as well. So Creator, he's buying some time. As time goes on, he's getting more gateways up and running. He's getting more shield batteries. He's providing more Sim City for his defenses back at home. Things are getting better for him as time goes on. Elazer has been maxed for a while, and he hasn't been able to make use of his army.
He does have to be really careful. This is all going to come down to these stasis traps and these Storms. Massive stasis trap, stopping so many Banelings in its wake, but there are going to be a few sneaking on through.
Oh, the Banelings, they do make it into the middle line. 6 probes are going to be going down. A Creator maybe not splitting up his army well enough, but there we go. Reinforcements are coming in. The Storms have arrived.
Massive storms decimate the banelings before they can get in. Creator's going to be able to set himself up nicely to deal with these banelings as well. But no, the banelings getting on top of the High Templars. Bit of a mistake there by Creator.
Oh yeah, 3 High Templar go down. Very good pickoffs here from Elazer. Without those storms, Elazer could maybe break this base. But no, he is being forced back by the Immortals.
Yeah, Elazer has to be really careful not to be too wasteful here because the quality of Creator's army is increasing by the minute, and Elazer's still on a pretty low-tech army himself.
Yeah, again, it's still just Ling Bane, Road Travager. Baileys are rolling on in, and it looks like Creator doesn't have anything in position. Workers are going to be going down the cell, so they charge in!
Pretty decent trades there for Elazer.
Takes down a lot of those Zealots with the Baileys. Doesn't get into the mineral line, but an efficient trade nonetheless. As he goes for another Link counterattack, the wall still no longer a wall.
Yeah, the Lings are going to be getting in. There are Cannons and Zealots here to help clean them up, and with Elazer only on +1 attack, they are going to be trading very well, these +2 Zealots.
Oh, exactly. So even though the Lings flooded in, no economic damage was done. A very good warp and very good reaction out of Creator. He's doing his best hero impression by just allowing Lings in and minimizing his losses.
I think Elazer does have to be careful here that he doesn't force the issue too much. I mean, Creator's still not really trying to take a 5th yet, so I don't want to see Elazer being too wasteful for these attacks.
Yeah, he has to be careful not to poke the bear. If he takes one fight too poorly, then Creator will counterattack. He's going to have a hefty army to work with. The Storms will connect. The Banelings go down. At the same time, the Roaches are trying to push into these Immortals.
Yeah, Roach is going to be sniping Immortals, sniping Archons as well. So many of them going down, though. That was not a good attack for Elazer. And I think he is, just kind of overextending himself when Creator is still only on 4 bases.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, is there really big reason to attack into these 4 bases the way that he is? Really, he should be focusing on denying the 5th, and now we do see the supplies are evening up. For the first time in a long time, Creator is even in supplies. He's pushing out across the map. He has momentum.
Elazer's army is getting trapped. This could be really bad for him.
It really could be, as he's being zoned away from his own bases. Hatchery's going to be going down. The Roach army, there's no way out of this. He gets surrounded.
The army is trapped. They're going to try to take down some Immortals and Archons with them. But no, the Roaches are all going to be taken out. Elazer in huge trouble now as this high-tech army of Creator is bearing down on him.
Yeah, and again, this is why I do kind of associate Creator similarly to Showtime, where this entire time he was just absorbing attacks, absorbing these pushes. Big storms on the Roach army. Another base goes down.
The Immortals are getting on top of the Roaches and the Banelings. Massive storm going down on top of those Banelings that Elazer was desperately trying to morph in. They will just break the shields on the Immortals, but it's not enough. ABYDOS has done it.
GG, well played. Creator comes out of the Super Ace match. Very happy about that game as well, as it went down to the wire, and he does it for his team. He does it for ABYDOS.
GG, despair on the face of Elazer. He knows that that was not the best way to play that out, and going to be a lot of frustration for him, but frustration on one side, elation on the other. Creator is so happy with how that's turned out, but that is not the end of the day for ABYDOS.
It really is not. ABYDOS, they advance on in the bracket to face off against another team, but a shout out to Team Liquid. A shout out to Team Liquid, to Clem, to Elazer, to SKillous, to Mana, to Diego, Elazer as well, as they were all there supporting their teammates. They had an amazing performance here. They brought it all the way to the Super Ace match against ABYDOS, a team with Titans, a team with Cure, a team with Creator, with DRG. Very impressive results here. Didn't manage to get the win in the end, but a good showing nonetheless.
Yeah, great showing nonetheless, and as much as Elazer will be disappointed, everyone putting in great work from Team Liquid, and they had a really good season.
Yeah, they really did. They were even talking about it in the interview before the series, before the cast, talking about how they underperformed in the previous season. In the last season of WTL, they didn't make it into the playoffs, but this season they did. They were able to just overcome some of the obstacles that they had previously, and hey, you know, making it here into the upper echelons, into the top seeded players, was impressive stuff. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, definitely great stuff coming out there. But that will be the end of the story for them, at least for this season.
Yes, yes. And, you know, do not fret if you're a fan of Team Liquid and their players. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of Team Liquid in the next season of WTL and in the individual leagues as well, as we do have ESL Masters Winter on the horizon in a couple of months. So still plenty of StarCraft to look forward to. especially tonight, because ABYDOS, they move on to face off against CranKy Gaming.
All right, we are into the top 3 teams here. ABYDOS in that top 4, making up that top 4 in total, but CranKy, Onside, and Basilisk, they are the juggernauts of this competition, and the first of those will be in that next series.
Exactly. CranKy Gaming, they are the WTL champions. They have won every season of WTL thus far. Technically, Dragon Phoenix Gaming has won every season. They have since merged with KyZ Gaming, and they have formed this technically new team, and they are looking to reprise their role in the finals. But because they're in third place, they've got quite a ways to go.
Yeah, there's a long path ahead of them, and that is all going to start tonight.
It is, of course, DKZ. They have the added advantage of resting this entire time. They've had the luxury of just chilling, getting some food, just kicking up their feet and watching these matches, watching ABYDOS struggle hard to face off against them. And that's also why this is a bit of an endurance test for ABYDOS. They just had an intense series against Team Liquid. They have a couple of minutes here to rest and recuperate and get ready for another series back to back.
Yeah, that's right. So I hope Creator didn't put too much into that one.
Yeah, I hope Kira as well has had some time to rest and recover. I hope Nightmare has returned to his wardrobe and he's also getting ready to be fielded. That's the other thing, right? We haven't seen him yet today, and he can come out against DKZ.
Yep, that's right. He might have just been resting up for this one.
Definitely. Man, I wouldn't be opposed to like a PvP sniper hero or something like that. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. For those wondering, I believe we are setting up for an interview. I believe they are getting ready for a winners interview with Creator. And then from there, we'll be heading into a countdown timer and getting ready for our next series. So I believe they're just getting ready for that. Shout out to the WTL organizers because they've put a lot of work into the production. It's been really impressive what they're able to put out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's been really exciting. We've loved the music as well.
Oh yeah. The music has been good. The cat predictions, most important part. Always going for the pink bowl so far. We'll see if that changes for the next series. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Yep, definitely. As yeah, they've got the lineups here. So DKZ, then Basilisk, then Onside.
Yeah, exactly. We are just going to be having a look at those lineups. I believe they still haven't decided on the starting players yet. We're going to be bearing witness to that once we kind of do get into that, of course. Oh boy. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm already like spent a little bit on what just happened. Like it was a wild series, mate. It went the distance all the way, Papi, all the way. It was good stuff.
Yeah, great stuff though. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the potential matchups even are for DKZ versus ABYDOS. I mean, we could be seeing Dark versus Cure. That's a banger.
True. Are they going to keep fielding Cure first? They've done it every time so far.
Surely, yeah.
Yeah. It's a risky move. It feels like a really risky move to go for. And that does allow DKZ to get ready for that snipe, whether it's Dark, whether it's Hero, whether it's Oliveira as well. I know we haven't been able to showcase Oliveira too much over the past couple of months, but he's also a pretty powerful player in his own right.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for snipes in various players. I know Oliveira's TVP in particular has been looking really good. He might be actually quite a good player to snipe Cure. Oliveira's made some pretty great upsets in TVT.
Definitely. I don't know if you saw, but shark down, Poppy. The shark fell over.
All right.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's not there. It's on the left. You can see it next to the cans of Rio. Smooch. But yeah, I do think that Oliveira would be a good snipe. Definitely, especially in those TVTs. Has famously some amazing TVT, especially against Maru that he has shown in the past. So yeah, one to look out for. So for now, I think we there we go. For now, we're going to be heading off to a break. We're getting into the interview in a couple of minutes. After said interview, we're going to be returning with our next series.
Alright, see you soon.
We are going to interview one of their
好
players.
的，恭喜获得了本场比赛的胜利。那
So
也是想问一下
congratulations,
现在的心情怎么样？
congratulations,
是不是非
Creator,
常激
you
动？因为
win
我们的
this
比赛打
series.
成了1-1，1-1，1-1，最后到了大将战。现在获胜之后，心情如何？
So how do you feel after your team like winning from 3-1-1 and at last you take down the ace match?
로 하다가 마지막 에이스전까지 갔잖아요. 지금 그 소감이 어떠실까요?
일단 저는 진짜 팀 리퀴드전이 제일 고비라고 생각을 했어요. 왜냐면 잘하는 선수도 일단 많고 또 그 외국 서버에서 하기 때문에 서로 이제 100%로 못하기 때문에 걱정이 많이 됐어요. 근데 걱정 그대로 엄청 힘든 싸움을 한 것 같고 마지막에 좀 운 좋게 이기게 된 것 같습니다.
首先我个人觉得 Team Liquid 对我们战队来说算是一个
So first,
因为
I think Team Liquid is
实
a
力强
very
的选手
strong
也非常
opponent
多，而且
to
我
play
们用的
against.
是外服，大家不能发挥出100%的那种实力。
So we have to
所
play
以
at
就有
our
点担
best
心，
level
但
to
是
take
今天
down
的
them.
情况来说的话，
So we
可
kind
能
of
跟我的
worried
担
about
心会有一点像，
ourselves
但今天
today.
运气比较好，赢
But
下
we
了
are
这
lucky
一场比
today,
赛。
and
哇，
we
那跨过了
successfully
这个坎，
taken
跨
down
过了
Team
这
Liquid
座山，我
today.
觉得未来你们的比赛征程会更加的顺利。那第二个问题想问一下，其实我们在后台的时候有看到你们队伍的 Kill 选手在打比赛的时候，你就已经在那里
So the
当时
second
有点
question
紧
is
张，然后在
we
疯狂的
we
训
see
练，
that
当
you
时
are
是在疯
practicing
狂的热手，
when
然后
the
那
Cure
个
is
时候其实
playing
已经
against
做好了
Clem
自
in
己
the
大将战
revival
要
match.
上去的一个
So
准备了吗？
are you
当时已经
preparing
制定
for
好了
the
自己
ace
的
match
大将
that
战
you are
战术了
think
吗？
you are preparing for the ace
아까
match against
김도훈
Team
선수가
Liquid?
부활전 진행하실 때 옆에서 계속 연습하고 손 풀기나 이렇게 하면서 연습하셨잖아요. 그때는 이미 그 에이스전을 나갈 준비가 됐고 혹시 뭐 따로 생각하는 그런 빌드 같은 거 구상했던 적이 있을까요?
일단 물론 마지막에 도욱이 형이 2대0으로 이겼으면 좋았겠지만 그래도 만약에 에이스 결정전 간다면 그래도 준비를 해야 됐어서 저는 이제 스킬러스 선수나 이레이저 선수 중 둘 중에 한 명이라고 생각했고 그 두 선수에 대해서 빌드를 짜고 있었습니다.
首先，如果 Q 选手能2-0赢下的话，其实我不用上那个 Ace 战，但是就还是要做准备嘛，所以就一直在热手。
So Creator says that if Cure taken down Clem with a 2-0, he don't need to play the ace match, but he had to prepare for the ace match in case that it ended up with 1-1.
准备比赛。那最后一个问题是想问一下，其实，在最后一场比赛的时候，你有一波小小的失误，当时是死了一波闪电，但是你当时马上把心态给稳住了，然后后面非常稳健的防守，然后最后赢下了整个比赛胜利。那当时自己是如何稳住那个心态，然后最后反败为胜的呢？
So in the second game, like there was a time that your High Templars got hit by the Banelings, and we see that you have but you successfully to manage to get through from that. Like what is going through your mind at that time?
언젠지는 잘 모르겠는데 아무래도 이게 마지막 그 게임이다 보니까 또 긴장도 많이 되고 서로 이제 또 막 그렇게 크게 집중할 수 없는 상황이었다고 생각을 해요. 그래서 그런 장면이 나왔던 것 같고, 네, 게임을 하는 데 있어서는 제가 그래도 이렇게 쭉 이어나가면은 이길 수 있겠다는 자신감이 많이 있었기 때문에 그 자신감으로 해서 이긴 것 같습니다.
首先，其实刚才最后那一场的话，因为也是比较激烈的嘛，我都忘了大概什么时候闪电兵死掉了。但是因为也是最后一场，大家都非常的紧张，而且可能没有在像之前的那些比赛会高度的那么集中嘛，所以还可能会出现那些失误的场景。但是我当时是觉得，如果我这么打下去，只要能接着打下去的话，我肯定能拿下来这场比赛的。所以当时是按照这么一个想法继续的这个比赛。
是的，当时的一个打法
So
其实非
I
常
was very
稳健，
nervous in the
对
ace
局势
match,
的
so
判
I
断也
forgot
很准
when
确，也是
I
拿下
lost my
了
high
最后的
tempers.
比
But I
赛，也
just
是非
think
常
if
恭
I
喜。那
can
后面一轮你们
get
要
through
挑战
from
的
the
对手就是
Elazer's
DKZ
attack,
战
I
队
could
了，
win
送
the
一句
game.
话给他们吧。
지금 다음
So you are going to
상대팀이
face DKZ in the next match. So do you have any words
다음
for them?
상대팀한테 한마디 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
일단 저희가 여기까지 올라올 거라고 생각을 아마 못했을 텐데, 일단 저희 팀이 꼭 이기고 싶고 또 이길 수 있도록 최선을 다할 테니까 좋은 게임 펼쳤으면 좋겠습니다.
首先可能对手没有想到过我们能打上来比赛，
So
但
maybe
是我
our
们确
opponent
实非常希
DKZ
望
did
可
not
以
expect
赢下
that
来
we
接下来的
can
这场比赛，也
win
希
this
望大
game
家一
and
起
face
尽全
them.
力去迎战这场比赛。
And
就
we
像
are
在
going
采
to
访的时候，你自己说
prepare
到的，已
for
经
the
跨
next
过了
match
这
against
道坎，
DKZ and do
那
our
未
best
来
for
跨
it.
过了这道坎，跨过了这座山，那让更多人看到你们，希望在后面的比赛继续加油，表现出色。谢谢接受我们的采访，康桑米达。
So hope you can play better in the future and thanks for the interview.
好的，我们的精彩比赛还在继续，我们稍事休息一下，一会儿有第2轮更精彩的比赛带给大家。